Warning: Dragoncast is intended for mature audiences only. This video condemns predatory behavior and discusses public Roblox lawsuits, for example, MDL 3166, with over 130. Warning: Dragon.
Woke crusaders spew their hate. Lies unfold before our ears. Podcast rage to calm our fears. Reclaim gaming and Dragoncast. Fire breathing wine, screaming loud. Levistro's here to shake the crowd. Psychotic dragon ready to ignite. Hold on tight, we're taking flight. Worlds clash in endless collision. Gaming news with a fierce precision. With a spark so wild it breaks the norm. In the tempest eye of with a psychotic roar. Corrupt suits sneer what they despise. Dragoncast will open your eyes. Integrity found in Dragoncast. Fire breathing metal, screaming loud. Levistro's here to shake the crowd. Psychotic dragon ready to ignite. Hold on tight, we're taking flight. Dragoncast. Dragoncast. Wings of justice cut through the dark. Levistro's roar ignites the spark. A dragon's heart fiercely defends the gaming world. Our passion ascends. This is Dragoncast. Dragoncast.
We're live, everybody, and hello. Can I get a mic check, sound check? I do apologize. I had some issues with my internet. It looks like I might still be having some. Can anyone hear me? Well, I can't hear you. Hold on. Testing. Oh, we got Dash.
Hey, you've noticed me.
Dash.
Dragon Senpai.
Okay, I can hear you, but I can't hear you. Yeah, okay, well, we can't hear you. Cena has confirmed that.
I had the mic muted because I had somebody hollering at me.
Issues today. Okay. I had some issues today. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Plus, Terrace can be a little late. He's okay, but someone scuffed his car. So, yeah. But welcome, and welcome to today's edition of Dragoncast. There's one topic that's not going to be on. There was another last-minute change. Mikey was supposed to join us, but he had a family emergency. So we won't be talking about a certain topic today because I figure it's best when he gets on. He'd like to talk to us about it live. So there's that. That being said, what a week, huh, guys?
Yep.
Ode to Chuck Norris.
Yes, we'll be talking about that. Actually, we normally it is going to be a topic because, well, people don't believe it, but he was in games. But I think we could sound this off with a flashback to when WoW ruled the scenes and Chuck Norris approves.
Chuck Norris is a hunter, but Chuck Norris does not hunt. Hunting would imply the possibility of failure. There are 10 million people in the world of Warcraft because Chuck Norris allows them to live.
I'm Chuck Norris, and I approve this game.
World of Warcraft. Try it free at warcraft.com.
What's your game?
I remember that commercial.
Mm-hmm. They even had an Ozzy Osbourne, all kinds of them.
Well, the Ozzy one was great.
Yes. I found out when I was like, okay, yeah, we need to pay tribute to the man, the myth, the legend, because, well, people don't realize it, but he had an Atari game and he had 2 other games, as well as an appearance in a game that Kirsha loved that, well, got kicked out of. I'm trying to. I just heard Rock City, something Rock City. I just lost the name of it off the top of my head. But let's see. Hello to everyone in chat. We do have Valkyria Winner saying hail all, food of time and skull. We have the new French people being represented by Seen and Heard himself saying boobs. We got Shadow Warden. And let's see, anyone else? No one important. Oh, fine. I'll acknowledge her. Sonia. We got Sonia. So yeah, interesting week. So let's start with Dash. How's your week been going?
Good. Just got back from the movies. So the new Ready or Not. It was all right. But yeah, it's been good. I unfortunately, had some behind the scenes drama, going on. You can check my ex for a bit, but just so you know,
why do I want to talk to your old boyfriend?
Yeah, it's just you can't make everyone happy. Let's just say.
Oh no, you can't. And drama is drama, but the important thing is that well, did you have a good week despite all that?
Yeah. Despite all that, yeah, I've been having a pretty good week.
That's good. And Bo, who decided to be shy for once and embrace his gayness, or is it transness? I've never been good at these.
That's Rhonda, the co-host, man.
Yeah,
my AI co-host.
I understand that's your trans identity.
She is a beaut.
Yes, she is. But let's be honest, that's just Bo and his trans identity.
Well, I figured Steen, since he cried out boobs in chat, he'd like to see my AI co-host.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how has your week been going?
Started Crimson Desert. Got mixed feelings about it, but I think I'm turning around. I know we're supposed to talk about it later.
Yeah, we will definitely talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll get more into that
I will
later.
say that my video about the Nuvo is still being. I was saying this last week. I didn't think it was gonna be a dumpster fire. I thought the other one I made was gonna be the dumpster fire, and no, it was this one. But My only issue if it was the Nuvo, and after watching you guys stream it, Cast stream it, and stuff, and then seeing in Mikey stream it, and I have a stronger graphics card than Mikey does, I went ahead and bought it today. So we'll see how it runs, and then
Ooh,
once it gets done, I might make a video on how to remove the Denuvo files. Not the pirate way. Chill, YouTube. I'm talking about the actual files that when you remove the game, they're still there according to terms of service of people who have Denuvo on their games. But we also got we got a lot of news on Crimson Desert. A lot. So we're gonna go through them. Some people claim that the people who hate the game is not Denuvo, Crimson Desert. The people that hate the game hate it because of crimson paint, yellow paint. Some talk about controls, graphics, and a controversy over AI. So we're going to be covering all that. Plus, since Dash and Bo had played the game, we're going to be getting their takes. So there is that. Oh, I got news on that one. But Scene for 2 British peso says so. Removo de Nuvo. Yeah, they can remove it now. Yeah. Actually, no. I'll just say it now because we'll get too much. We'll get into it more if we want to talk about more later. But within the launch day, Pirates are claiming they have already removed the Denuvo. So, yeah, I'm not condoning piracy. I'm just saying, Denuvo says the initial launch day, that's how much they protect it, and already they have a pirated copy out within the 24-hour time frame.
Being with that comment, there's
But
zero
that being
yellow
said,
paint,
yeah,
Crimson Desert, no hand holding. I've got something for that. We'll talk about later. It's mostly correct. What he said. There is some
Mostly
stuff
correct.
in there.
yeah,
Yeah, it's mostly correct. There is some stuff in there, but they still leave the game to where you got to figure shit out.
Oh, I have a story to tell also of speaking of figuring shit out.
We got to stop on the crit because that's supposed to be last. But I'm trying not to take.
Well, that's not actually supposed to be last. If we have time after the Crimson Desert, I really want to have that game discussion about are we the baddies. But I'm slowing down strong for time so Carrots get here, but looks like we're gonna get to go without him. Now, normally I organize all these before we talk about before we do Dragon Bytes, but looks like we're gonna have to. So give me a moment here. Oh, I don't have my notepad here. Oh, wow, there's notes here. So we're going to say at 15 minutes, I don't know, 13, 22, DB. And we're going to talk about Dragon Bytes. Now, I wanted to wait till Terrence got here because he led the Dragoncast for this conversation last week, right? But y'all remember the Roblox question we were talking about, right?
Oh, I know the news about Roblox
getting
sued, them allowing predators and all that stuff on there. But I think, remember, I was busy with basketball, so it's probably something I missed.
Yeah. Carrots wanted to have the conversation. I have an issue with talking about these things because, well, issues. Let's just say that I might get my channel shut down. But yeah. So Pirate Nation posted a Roblox programmer was arrested in New Orleans by Homeland Security investigations for possessing child corn. Let's just say it that way, and importing a child thing. A 2025 study in the Journal of Children Media highlights that Roblox design features increase children's exposure to exploitation by 25% compared to similar platforms. So it just goes back. It basically ties into our discussion last week that, they allowed this thing to happen. But now that we find out there's people in the company that's also of that pedigree, let's just say, there's a bigger question asked. Should we be investigating what goes on inside Roblox?
I think there's enough there.
Especially with this.
One. Yeah.
What do you think, Dash?
Roblox. Harris was talking about it. I didn't catch like what he said, but yeah, if there's criminal activity happening on Roblox, that needs to end.
My question was, do you think that with this news that there was a programmer arrested and with the reputation, the FBI should be doing more than looking at the victims of the game?
Well, if a programmer
inside the company itself,
if a programmer got caught with illegal shit, then yeah, see if he was sharing that shit with anyone else, if any of that shit got into the game.
Yep. So there is that. So I want to put that. Where did I lost it. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Here we go. I didn't have a chance to organize these things with my technical difficulties, so I'm trying to keep it somewhat organized. But Steam would like you to know that the Steam Spring Sale is here from now until March 26th. Celebrate the turn of the seasons with thousands of discounts on games of all kinds. It is a video, but we're not going to worry about. Oh, maybe it will play. So yeah, you can get games like Sandwich that we all know we're not going to play because it's a shit game.
I don't need to look at that.
These games that are on sale.
A few more games that I need to. Oh man, I got. God.
Yeah, I have no money right now for Steam sales.
I have the money. I just don't need any more.
Yeah, I'm kind of both right now. I gotta play some of the games I want to play, but Steam sales, there's some gold. Sometimes I'll be perfectly honest. There are some times when when I see a sale go on, there are some games I didn't even know existed because there's so many games out there until after the sale comes out, and I'm like, oh, then I just put that on a wish list. But
do that too.
Yeah, you never know what. Games
I'll end up buying something. That's on sale. I've always wanted.
My YouTube check's coming any day now, so I did get the new Jared Carpenter game that I was talking about the other week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, more Steam news. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll wait.
Yeah, I got the game today because I'm going to be getting my YouTube money possibly tomorrow. That's it.
Nice. That's fine. Okay, so in totally unrelated news, Valve has released Steam Operating System 3.8 preview, codenamed Second Clutch, on a Steam Deck preview channel. This update includes initial support for the upcoming Steam Machine hardware and an update Arc Linux base. It significantly reduces handheld controller input latency from 5 to 8 milliseconds to 100 to 500 microseconds on supported devices, greatly improving responsiveness. So, all you handheld deck players, you're going to get some updated software.
I might get a handheld one of these days just so I can have it with me when you hurry up and wait at the VA office for your doctor's appointments.
Mm-hmm.
When you're sitting there for an hour and you get there 15 minutes prior to the appointment and you still got to sit there for an hour and a half.
And I thought I had it in here. Oh, give me a second. Oh, yes, I do have I will put this before we move on. So this developer has a hot take, and it's the question I'm asking our viewers today. She says Steam player count being visible is doing irreparable and unnecessary damage to a lot of games. So if you see the question in the poll and chat, that's where it comes from. But who this person is with the stupid take? She used to be the CEO of War Dog. She was featured in Women in Games, all that stuff. In my personal view, might be good at, has some good skills, but in my personal view, horrible dev. If you say yes because you think she is because she's a woman, yes, because her, and not for the way you think. The way I think it is more of she puts her identity as a woman rather than a game developer. Yeah. So, yeah. I want to know what y'all's thoughts are, especially y'all in the chat. If that's a hot take, or if that's
I like seeing player numbers on Steam.
Yeah. Oh, the Steam numbers. Yeah, that's good data.
Good data. I wish the consoles would do it, but they never will. They will never show the player numbers.
I like the
on
Steam numbers because it helps me figure out what's what.
But I think if you look at the Steam numbers give you hard numbers. But if you take the percentage, you can use it as a base of what's happening on consoles as well. But Starfield's number one on PlayStation right now for pre-orders.
Now I had it in here, but for some reason I'm not seeing it anymore. So maybe I accidentally took it out. But for everyone who doesn't know, High Guard was shut down, too much to Dash's sadness. I'm sorry, Dash.
No.
But PlayStation has given people refunds for that
including
game,
me,
which means you could put that $20 or $60, whatever that refund was.
It was $16. It was $16. It was like the cheapest skin.
Okay. So yeah, you get up to $16 on your refunds that you could put to an $80 games like, well, Crimson Desert.
Or Starfield.
Yeah. Or something for the Steam sale.
I might get it on PlayStation 2 for those times I need a break from the computer. The only problem with PlayStation is I won't be able to mod it like I do on a computer.
Why do you have my tweet up about what Trump said about Mueller?
Oh no, I hit back too many times, and that's what it went to. So let me. That was not intentional. I do apologize. But speaking of politics, since it was an unintentional show, I do apologize. I'm sorry about that, Dash. How do y'all feel about a hamster telling the British government to go fuck themselves?
4chan for the win.
Yes. Now, normally we don't cover internet drama too much, but 4chan is also a place where gamers go to talk about things they can't talk about anywhere else. And well, this is about age verification, which is something we're covering because people are trying to get gamers to show their faces, and we don't like that. So this is from what I understand, this is their lawyer. I don't look too much into it, right? But y'all remember Ovcom was saying that they successfully fined 4chan, which if you also don't know, that's impossible, as we'll cover in the letter, and we'll explain what this cute little guy is. But Ovcom is a British government agency or something like that, and 4chan's an American company. So you can't find an American company if they're located on American soil, unless you're also American. But anyways, let's just go over the basis of this lawyer. So this is the online safety enforcement. On February 12th, they issued I don't have my glasses on. 4chan Supreme Court with a provisional decision by some British law that no one cares about. We're not going to get into it. Attached to this email, they say this: it's the duty to conduct a suitable and sufficient legal content risk assessment in respect of 4chan.org. as required by some stupid law that no one really gives a shit about. Its duty to include provisions in terms of service specifying how individuals are protected from illegal content by another act that's, outside their jurisdiction. Blah, 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 right? We're not going to get into it. But basically, they're just saying, like, you have a duty to protect the children, this and that. Yeah, we understand, but we don't care about your laws and governance in that, right? Like, they're trying to enforce it on their end. And this is their lawyer's response. They said, thanks, as has been explained to your agency ad nauseum, the United Kingdom lost the American Revolutionary War. We are not in the mood to discuss the matter further and have not been in the mood for 250 years. I note for the record that last time your agency sent my client a censorship fine, we responded with a hamster joke. Since you now have sent my client a giant fine, a fine so large that Mr. Whisker's enclosure is not enough to contain it, we will need to send the fine to Mr. Whisker's giant hamster Compson, Nigel J. Whiskerford. Unfortunately, Nigel is out of the country this week, touring in Japan. Here's a picture of Nigel in Tokyo, dressed up as Godzilla and holding an equally giant peanut. Isn't he just the cutest? My client, now here's the part I like. This is the line I like here. My client reserves all rights and waives none. Reserved rights include the right to see you again. That's the part I like. And or to respond to future correspondence with an even larger rodent, such as a marmot. Or maybe you could just stop sending Americans stupid letters to acknowledge the sovereignty of the United States. Barn and storm. So I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, go for it, Chan.
Man, we need to work on the delay timing here. Are y'all having problems with for hearing my audio on your end or something?
No, we're all good.
Sometimes you get that robotic cutout and then it comes back.
Okay. If I'm still getting that, oh, that's not going to be good. But yeah. And then Lords of the Fallen would like to announce their feature of the week. What they call it, they acknowledge it's a bug, but we all know that bugs are just a feature. They call it death metal. I thought that was just hilarious. They want to know if like that's an actual bug.
Nice. They should leave it in.
Yeah, I think so. And speaking of the Nouveau related games, like today's conversation, Liza P has made an announcement. And if y'all remember, Liza P had the Nouveau on it, and it was nicknamed Liza the Nouveau for a while. But they have sold, as officially as of this week, 4 million copies, and sent a thank you to everyone who's bought the game. Do you know that Liza P removed the Nouveau after it got cracked?
No, I do not.
I've never played Liza P. Never even seen.
And I got the PS5 version.
It's not my type of game. I was like, meh, but I have heard that it's a pretty good game. It's just
for a Souls game, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
especially if you like Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm. I just don't like that the time period it set itself in. So I'm like, not my type of game. Which
never grabbed my attention.
Yeah, we don't. You like that's. I guess you're saying that her ass is too flat, Bo.
Pay attention to it.
No? Okay.
Liza P never interested me, not one bit. I've seen.
You never wanted to see Pinocchio
but
as an anime boy.
Yep. So here's what I'm going to say. We all know that there's times where the establishment will review things and everything's a 10 out of 10. Everything's a, great game if it fits their narrative. And then you have YouTubers who go the opposite, right? So you never know who really to trust if everyone seems to be focused on political war, right? So we have a neutral ground. Someone who said they're stepping out of the culture war to review 1348 ex voto. Someone that said they're going to step out of it. It was Steve Gamer. And they said, review the 1348 ex voto, historical policies aside. It's a buggy mess with mech combat. That's their official review statement. So, yeah.
I never even I think who
That
played
should
it?
solve it. I always felt like Niche Gamer
Rita
is
played it, and Vera Dark played it, and I didn't even watch
everybody
it.
played it.
I didn't play it. I didn't buy
I
that
didn't
shit.
play
And
it.
I'm the Dustborn
Mhm.
guy.
No, everyone, Dash, you can't really say that you're the Dustborn guy if nearly every streamer has played it. Patty's played it recently. I think Hypnotic played it. Vera played it.
I literally played it
Like-
at launch, and it's still one of my most watched streams. I'm gonna say that like Dustborn was really big for my channel, so I'll be there day one when
Yeah.
the sequel comes out.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
Oh no,
And
I
clip.
fucking hate it, but it's
No,
a game
no,
I
it's too
like to
late.
hate.
It's too late. I clipped it. It's clipped,
Oh, you're
and I'm
gonna
gonna make
clip
an
it out
AI
of
video
context.
with it. Yeah, I'm gonna clip it. No, I'm
You-
gonna clip your quote. I'm gonna clip your quote, and I'm gonna make an AI video on it so it looks a lot nicer and cleaner. And it's gonna be
I
a
also
YouTube
think
chat.
Poolsville sucks. By the way,
Yeah,
Which one?
There is that.
Poolsville. It's a joke from the second Scooby-Doo movie, where the media takes Fred out of context, where he goes like, "You're gonna try and make it think like people think that I think Coolsville sucks," and then like soon enough later, they clipped it as, "I think Coolsville sucks."
I couldn't stand Scooby Doo when I was a kid. I had no interest in watching the movies.
Oh damn! Oh.
I mean, Scooby Doo was brand new episodes when I was a kid, and I couldn't stand it. I didn't like Scooby Doo at all.
Yeah, so of course you didn't see the live action movie.
No.
But yeah, that was Freddie Prinze Jr.
I
as
hear it.
Fred.
Mm-hmm. And to respond to all the naysayers, because I found it now, thanks for helping me stall for time. But the devs up for that game has issued a statement.
I heard they issued a statement that they know their game sucked.
Yep. We've been following your feedback and reviews closely. And first of all, we want to humbly thank you for the time and attention you dedicated on a tight project. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us, blah, 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 blah. So our main focus has been addressing critical bugs. It sounds like a really professional message, except for one thing. When they posted this on Twitter, they locked the replies. So I gotta say, if you really care about critical feedback, then why did you lock your replies? That's all I want to say. Yeah, of course they do.
I
mean,
mean,
they're
especially
indie.
they spend all this time clapping back. Like, why do you need an attractive woman in the game?
Yeah, and the thing is here's what I'm going to say. I don't care about 1348. I don't think I even covered it much. We covered a little bit of it, right? We talked about a little bit during the Knight's Path controversy, right? And I pointed out they got, in my personal view, the way they were reacting and talking or tweeting, whatever you want to call it, they were like, "Why don't you notice our game?" They were intimidated by the fact that Knight's Path had beautiful characters, and no one was talking about their game with a female protagonist, and they're also an indie dev, right? But it also came out that they've received grants and tax benefits or whatever. I don't know. I'm probably saying it wrong, but they received some financial gain from their government as well for the message they were preaching, right? Yet no one really cared because you came out, the devs came out and said, "What about our game? What about?" They're just jealous. That's what I'm thinking. And they got a little bit of hype But as we see from this next photo, according to the screenshots from maybe this one from Pirate Nation, according to his screenshot, there's 22 in game. So it's not meant for everybody, but if you do want to get more people to play your game, you got to attract them somehow. And I'm sorry to say, this actually reflects the world. LGBTQ representation isn't even 1% of the world population. So they're not going to be interested in that game unless they're lesbian or LGBTQ or interested in that kind of thing, which is, again,
now guys like lesbians, though. Like, there is like that crowd, like, so there is a market for lesbian games. It's just very obvious. There's not a market for activist lesbian games.
Well, not just that, but it's not just for activist games, because that's everyone. No one's going to be in the market for activist games. No one cares, regardless if it's right or left. No one's going to give a shit about activist games except for that tribe. But when you say guys like lesbians, yes, they like pretty lesbians. You go look at lesbian porn, right? It's pretty lesbians. It doesn't look like this. And even lesbians like pretty women.
Yep, that's a point I've made for years that is constantly ignored by the left, because they pretend like lesbians don't like the same things straight men like.
And you know what the funny thing is, though, is I don't know a lot of lesbians, but I have seen a lot of lesbians, right? If you get my drift.
Yeah.
They tend to look like this. So I
those are the butch lesbians. They're like a different breed of
I see lesbians. Not just the butch,
there are lesbians that like traditional hotties and baddies.
There are, but I'm just saying from my region of the world, when because I had to take my son to Taekwondo or kids events, and lesbians can get married and have kids, right? Not saying anything against them, I'm just pointing out that they can have families too. They're usually overweight lesbians. And like, let me just say, we had a neighbor come by our area, right? Moved in, adopted a baby, and she came out and said she's a realtor and literally harped on the whole lesbian thing, which kind of felt like bait because she's in an area that's a red state area, right? So she's trying to like say, hey, I'm a lesbian, try to get a reaction, and then try to say some things like, does anyone know how I can get help on this or that? Not in a way like a single mom or anything, but like common like things you would know. If that makes sense. Like, does anyone know how I can find a grocery store?
And then why does being a lesbian hinder your ability to find a grocery store?
Yeah. No one responded to her, and then she says she tried to say it to the board in the meeting that the community is hostile to LGBTQ with children because no one responded to her Facebook posts.
Wow, she sounds like an absolute cartoon character.
And she has dissimilar shape. She's not fat, but her spouse was. But she definitely looked like that. Plain Jane with a bowl cut. So
yeah, this game was definitely made for the modern audience.
Yeah. Percentage wise, do you know what group of people has the highest divorce rate?
Women.
Lesbians.
Well, of course, even women can't stand women.
That's exactly my point, because I was about to ask what is the common denominator.
That's why OnlyFans does so well, because no one can stand women, but we like looking at them, and they know it.
Anyway.
Prove me wrong, ladies. Prove me wrong. Tell me a CEO that's been successful, and I'll show you 20 that have not. I'll start. Miller Lite. I'll just put that out there. Miller Lite. You want another one? Cracker Barrel. I can keep going. Yeah, because we even if we're not gay or straight, we men know what it's like in the real world, and we know how to
get along.
Compromise.
Yeah, I have heard this statistic. I hear that like the the lack of the stay rate for like gay relationships is actually like a lot higher than straight or lesbian. You know, and you know, I think it goes to Levistro's points, but I don't want to sound like a sexist asshole.
That's my line.
To dunk on women or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, like it is something like
dudes just get along better, whether they're gay or straight. They just get along better than women and their women friends or women lovers.
Women
dudes just get along better.
Yeah,
most
you know,
times.
dudes like, you know, dudes get along with other dudes. Women are constantly at it with other women.
Yeah. But anyway, that's completely off gaming topic.
Yeah, I know we tangented it.
Yeah, we did. But let's get back and because it does help us segue into another one. Now, I'm going to say back in the day when I covered Black Myth Wukong, when I was not very popular, I never interacted with this 1 year on the list. This is based on my old channel, my old X account, right? But I covered a certain IGN article that was slandering game science and Black Myth Wukong. I said, technically, based on the Chinese people that are responding to this, saying that's not true and that's not what this says, she and her partner, not lesbian partner, but like business partner or journalist partner, whatever you want to call it, could be sued by game science for slander.
Oh, the IGN lady?
Yeah, and she blocked me. I never responded to her tweets. I never followed her, not even viewed them. And then when I went to make a follow-up video, right, to see what she says and this and that, because I'm trying. This is the time I was learning to do gaming news, right? So I was still learning the ropes, right? Found out she blocked me already. I was like, holy shit. Even, I guess this means that even a journalist watches a guy that's not monetized with less than 200 subs at the time.
Yeah.
But she's back, according to Smash JT. I need to stop doing this. I probably should just do it, didn't talk about it. But Rebecca Valentine, journal trash from IGN, who wrote the sexism hit piece on game science attempting to destroy the credibility of Black Myth Wukong launch, it's the very same journal running a story attacking Pearl Abyss for a painting's discovery that allegedly used AI. Game science equals Chinese and Eastern. Pearl Abyss equals South Korean and Eastern. And we will talk about the AI painting in the Crimson Desert. We're just focusing on her so I can get rid of this. As I stated before, according to SpecialT, I was waiting for the moment for journalists to find anything to appear and try to knock this game down. They hate Eastern developers because they don't bend the knee to the ideological nut job cult like Western developers do. I hate to say this, but there have been times where Square Enix, Capcom have bent the knee. But continuing on, there's a war happening. Has been for time. There's no conspiracy, cultural Marxism consumes everything, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so he highlights this. And here's some context, because there are some IGN articles that actually defended or had some valid positive takes on Crimson Desert and others. It depends on who's writing it. Yes, there are some activist journalists, and there's some journalists I've noticed that are very neutral. So I think the cultural war is starting to wipe down even with the journalists, because they're starting to realize venture capitalism is starting to go away. The cultural war is starting to die down, but you still have the veteran, just like you had the veterans in the cultural war on our side,
what
right?
Venture capitalism is? Is that like woke capitalism?
Okay, so let me put it this way. Back in my days when I used to watch Tim Pool and stuff, he explained it. You ever notice when before you were streaming or whatever, right? You go on Facebook or Twitter and they had this news article about a cop beating up a black person. And then you just need more and more and more, right? Because drama sells. And that's not the representative of all cops, but because it's constantly in your feed, people started believing that was an actual issue. Right?
Yeah. That's venture capitalism.
That's venture capitalism, because they focus on the buzzwords. And one of my videos I pointed out when they said that they were attacking what was that game? They were saying that Crimson Desert, was it Crimson Desert? No, it was
Knight's Path?
Lords. Was it Lords of the Fallen? Yeah, I think it was Lords of the Fallen. They're saying because they're saying Tainted Grail. Sorry, it was Tainted Grail. It's been a while. Tainted Grail, right? They said Tainted Grail was a wannabe game, but the first paragraph in every sentence since was positive, neutral to positive, and I explained it in my video. Wannabe is for the click reactions. Inspired was for Google search. So the Elder Scrolls-like game was for the Google search. They were taking best of both worlds. But the wannabe was that old rage bait clicks that people would click onto. And if you see here, there's a lot of power words that people like Rebecca Valentine would use to get all that. If this generated AI art, right? This will violate general policy. And yeah, that would be true if it's AI, right? We will talk into it, but people like Rebecca Valentine and a former Kotaku editor / journalist who's suing people for money and attention that we won't mention, they would use buzzwords because it would get picked up by Google. It would get picked up by us, everyone else. And if we stopped reacting to it, it got no traction. That's what venture capitalism is. It was
Okay.
It would be the more clicks and reactions and views you have, right down here, would inspire people to investors to pay you to keep writing those articles. They didn't care about what was in it. They were like, okay, you're getting reactions. We'll pay you for this. We advertise this and that on your thing. And the money used to run forever. Now it's running out. Yes, Shadow Warren. Thank you. That's what I should have started with. Does that answer your question, Dash?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's back trying to get attention. But if you go to her, I didn't have time to pull it up, but if you go to her thing, she likes her little about the journalist. She says, I like cutesy games. So of course she's going to write negatively towards games that aren't cozy. And she's also lesbian. But like that's why she would give Tainted Grail. That's why she would probably give Tainted Grail a bad review. That's why she would give Black Myth Wukong a bad review, because she also tried to get them to, do the whole DEI lens. And when they refused, she started framing them as sexist and everything else. So she would definitely go and see things in that lens. So I don't take her negative her views of the game's negative, if any grain of salt. But I will take other people who actually have a track record in their articles of being neutral, regardless if it's us or journalists, which are rare. But speaking of the accidentally said Lords of the Fallen, speaking of which, Lords of the Fallen would like you to know that they sold over 2.5 million copies as of February 2026 and has officially broken even. And would like to thank you, whoever played, for getting a copy. They said thanks to every player, supporter, and fan who made this possible. And they have more to come.
I've got it in my backlog. I want to play it.
There is that.
I just had
and oh shit, we have. It's on. I think it's still on my wish list. I haven't even purchased it yet.
Oh, I got it on PlayStation years and years ago.
We have a.
You're breaking up really badly.
But we have something shocking. I am. How about now?
Yeah, you were in that moment.
King of Monsters says Scene has a grinder account.
Internet. Yes, he does. Speaking of grinder account.
To the radio station!
Torches! Get your torches! Pitchforks! Can't be an angry mob cotton candy. Get your cotton candy. It's all right, that cotton candy.
I had to pull something random. But King of Monsters, a member for 6 months, has said Scene has a Grindr account. Grok confirmed. Yes, you should always believe AI because AI would never lie to you, and they totally don't get things wrong at ever. And yeah, I confirmed it with them as well. I confirmed it with ChatGPT, Google AI, and Grindr AI. Don't ask questions, just consume content. But thank you for being a member for 6 months. I cannot believe I've been monetized for half a year now.
Nice, man. Congrats.
Yeah. But there's that. So we got that going on. I guess I just lost my chain of thought. Oh, but we do have a statement from GameStop. This is to make we're going to see Bo age like in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in real time. A statement has come from GameStop. They said officially, GameStop declares PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii U officially retro consoles. GameStop today issued an official declaration that Sony PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Nintendo Wii U are, for all practical purposes, now officially retro. The ruling was reached following careful analysis of multiple indicators, including the presence of component cables, the lack of Fortnite, and realization that they launched when George W. Bush was still president. Under
the Wii U
retro classification standard, the aforementioned system will now join the ranks of other beloved legacy hardware and retro categories such as Sega Saturn and Nintendo DS. In accordance with this legislation, GameStop will run a retro trade-in bonus offer now through March 21st. Customers who bring Wii U, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3 or any older console games or accessories will be rewarded an additional 10% in trade credit. Additionally, GameStop is pleased to announce stores will now accept effective retro consoles on trade. Customers may now trade in historic artifacts, even if they are non-operable, missing accessories, or aesthetically unfortunate. They just need to power on. GameStop would also like to remind the public that while these systems are now officially classified as retro, they are still very cool, and anyone who owned one at launch is absolutely not old.
Yeah, whoever runs the GameStop social media account is really good. I was actually in GameStop today at the mall, and I actually found like they had an obscure Marvel character action figure, Man-Wolf, who's actually a Spider-Man villain that you never hear about. They had an action figure of him, and there was a big line, and we were gonna get to the movie, so I wanted to come back, but we forgot, so I just ordered the figure on Amazon. But yeah, so fucking cool. Man-Wolf has an action figure. But yeah, GameStop social media is really funny.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's just me being a nerd right now.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just trying not to interrupt you.
Yeah, just a little rant because honestly, fun fact, Man-Wolf is J. Jonah Jameson's son. I bet you didn't know he was a supervillain or anti-hero or whatever.
I'll be honest, as many Spider-Man comics as I've read in the past, I've actually never heard of Man-Wolf. I've heard of Wolfman, but not Man-Wolf.
Yeah. Man-Wolf is
I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah, he goes by another name too, Star God.
That sounds like a furry.
Oh, he is very much a furry coded character. Like the Man-Wolf version is just a dumb werewolf. The Starguard version is just furry He-Man.
Yeah, sure. Furry He-Man, sure. It's just a furry. A furry playing dress up, whatever. But speaking of things that's not furry, that's also totally based and stuff, that shows how degenerate Dash would be. If you play Nice Path agonist, you'll have a hot mom, apparently.
That's your mom in Knight's Path?
Introducing Elena, mother of Alric, the player character in Knight's Path.
Nice. The mom characters deserve love, like your mom in all the Pokemon games. The mom character, man.
Yes, I guess. And clipped. But I do have some more news on that. This is coming from, like I said, I apologize to everybody. We had some issues, and I'm literally trying to get these things as they come out to keep them organized. So I'm scrolling through a whole bunch of stuff.
It's okay, man. Take your time. Oh, in the meantime,
I did have yeah, give me stall me, please. Go ahead.
yeah, so
Here it is. I found it.
Oh, okay.
But it's back on Knight's Path. I found it. Finally. I'm sorry. Thanks, Stash, for trying to help me out. But Knight's Path has a wish list update. Knight's Path has just reached 350,000 wish lists. For full transparency, here's a screenshot directly from Steam. We are incredibly grateful for your support. Thank you for all believing Knight's Path. So if you've ever wondered, how you can tell if they're bullshitting or not, they'll know. Or how they know. They shared a screenshot. Wishlist additions, 3,060. Wishlist deletions. They'll tell you how many people deleted it. Purchases and activations, gifts. So they'll know exactly by the numbers. And how many, like Windows, Mac, and Linux, all that stuff. They know everything about their game. So yeah, full transparency. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Awkward again.
Actually, I just thought of something.
No
I
thoughts?
actually have a story I could actually share if you're interested. Let me just look for it first.
Ahead.
I'm still gooning on the one,
Yeah, you go
the
right
one you
ahead.
had up before.
Oh, you're going to go on this one then.
Yeah. All right. Here you go.
It's a game I said that I found interesting. Hold on. We'll cover it in a second.
No, I'm just leaving it.
But this is from Concubine. Early access exclusive armor test. The first guard set.
I've been
Stair
following.
physics working nicely.
I've been following that game. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you would. So let me see. This is from Detective Seeds. Hold on, I might actually have this one. Give me a second.
Yeah, apparently
No, I don't. Go ahead and show
Sony
this,
kicked him out of the
because I
creator
don't have this one
program
on
for
here.
interviewing Bluepoint developers. They cut off his access.
So, just like with Kershaw, yeah, they did. After the recent Bluepoint game shutdown piece that I investigated and put out into the public, I have been officially removed as a PlayStation creator. So he's no longer a pony boy. As I said before, I have enjoyed early review codes, hardware sent to me, and other access for almost 3 years. After reaching out to request a review code this week, I was informed by someone of this change, and he regrets nothing. He put out the truth given to him by people who lost their jobs, and they trusted him to share their experiences that were corroborated by Bloomberg reports. He loves PlayStation as a platform, and he will continue to play on and support the brand. He knew this was a possibility when he did this report, and he fully accepts it and just wanted to share the update, and that he will continue to do his best to deliver gaming news and updates to you. So yes, I started following him recently, and I didn't realize, like, I followed him because it would came out on my feed, like, some of my friends were following him. I was like, oh, okay. So he was a game veteran and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I'll support another fellow veteran. It wasn't until recently that I noticed he focused a lot on PlayStation news. So I'm starting to try to keep an eye out for his, because I'm trying to also cover consoles, and that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
So, I want to cover everything because not everyone that's going to watch this plays on PC. I want to be neutral. Y'all can fight amongst yourselves in the Thunderdome of which console's the best. I don't care. I just want to cover games. But yeah, apparently
I've never had an Xbox, so I couldn't even compare. I've always just had a PlayStation.
I haven't had a PlayStation since PlayStation 1 or PlayStation. I still call it the PlayStation. I don't understand the whole PS1. Just call it the PlayStation. But I've had Xbox 360, and Xbox One. Not XS or anything like that. It's Xbox One. And then I had Game Boy. In order of consoles like that, if I've owned in chronological order, I had the Game Boy Color, the GBA, the Game Boy SD. That's the flip one, I believe. That's the one that flips. It's square, right? SD or SP?
That's SP.
Yes. SP, the GameCube, because kind of had to have it. And then it was the NES, the Super NES, emulator, the one that not like the emulator, but like the thing you can get at Walmart or something like that. That had like all the SNES games.
Oh, the SNES Mini, I've got that.
Yeah, it had all the games built into it.
Yeah, I beat Super Metroid on that. That was fantastic.
Yep. And then the Nintendo Switch. So that's my entire library right there. I never had the Wii. I never had the Wii U. I never had the N64. And I didn't get the NES when it came out. I got it at a garage sale. But for PlayStation, I've only had the PS1. And that was also... Actually, I think my girlfriend in high school gave that to me. Her family was rich. I was like, this is one reason I won't say I hate the rich, but I also don't like the rich, is because she wanted to be my girlfriend to kind of help me out of my situation. She told me one day, and I was like, and we're breaking up. It's like, don't date me because I'm from a fucking poor family. But yeah, okay, that's actually pretty sad about this. And I hope him well. I wish him well.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think this was news to cover? I'm not trying to say it in a bad way. I'm just saying you wanted to share this.
Well, I just show you just how cutthroat the industry is. Like, there could be no dissension if you're a content creator and want to tell the truth. So I thought it was relevant.
Oh yeah, you're on the money. I won't lie, you're on the money. But what do you think of all this with your wisdom?
You put the truth out there. But Sony was also in the rights to get pissed at him.
Yep.
Yeah.
In mighty words
but
of
at least he was transparent, telling everybody, look, I was getting free games, free crap from Sony, and they cut it off. They cut off his access. But that's within Sony's rights to do that too. If he puts out a story that they don't want him to put out.
Yeah, creator programs are just an arm of marketing. You got to always remember that.
Yep, this is why I don't shame people for doing it, and if someone gives me a free code, I'm gonna let them know. It's because I like Star Wars series.
Well, requesting a code isn't the same as being part of a creator program. When you're part of a creator program, you essentially become a marketing thing. Like, when you request a code, it's up to the game company whether or not to give you that code or not.
Yeah. But let me finish what I was trying to say. I don't usually request the codes. I will support them if they want me to support them. But I like Star Wars Theory's take on it, because he said he was given a chance to do a code, and he said he will do it right under several conditions. And one of them is that they understand he is not beholden to them to give a positive review just because he got a free code. He will give it honestly in his take, if I remember correctly. Like, he's saying He's like, I'm going to review it by my. I'm going to be factual about my review. I'm not going to say it's the best of the best and not mention the flaws.
Matty Plays does it. Mr. Matty Plays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he tells them right up front, if you give me a code, that's fine. He said, but I'm going to review it like I review anything else. You don't have any say in my review.
Exactly.
And I like that about Matty Plays.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the transparency we need when we're playing games. Like, we should be honest. Like, yeah, we've gotten a review code, we received it for free, whatever. Because that was the problem with games journalists before Gamergate, was they were getting these free codes and kind of saying everything was a 9 out of 10, not just the Doritos Pope, right? That we were like certainly like, wait a minute, this game sucks, and you gave it a 9 out of 10, and we started realizing they were buying the game devs were buying they were buying reviews. So Freedom Fighter 76, I haven't seen you in a while. Hello. But in other news, where's it at?
Everybody, this is Dolly.
Huh?
This dog.
Oh.
This is Dolly. She does this when there's nobody to sit on. And I'm back here on my computer. She'll come up here and be all pouty and stuff because there's nobody to sit on out in the living room.
Well, speaking of things to sit on, Bo, you like guns, right? You're from Texas. You're a veteran. You like guns, right?
Well, yeah.
What about you, Dash? Being
I'm a moderate appreciator of firearms.
I go to firing range. You know, I don't go during the winter, but I go to a firing range pretty regular during the spring and summer.
And Dash, you if I remember correctly, you're Catholic.
Yes.
So you like nuns. Right?
As spiritual guides, not as a fetish.
Yeah, as a spiritual guides. Yeah, still you like nuns.
Yeah, I like nuns, for dedicating their lives to being holy and preaching the word of God. Yeah.
What about you, Dash? What about you, Bo? What do you think about nuns?
I'm not Catholic.
Yeah, I know you're not Catholic, but what do you think about nuns?
I mean, kind of the same with Dash. I respect that. I respect them.
Yeah.
I respect what they do.
You respect what they do. Well, how about them? How about the nuns for 2A amendment views? Nuns and guns, the best of both worlds, has reached 40,000 wish lists.
Well, you see, this is what I'm talking about. There is a lot of anime games that fetishize nuns. So nuns with guns, this is a silly game.
Yeah, it's a silly game, but it reached 40,000 wish lists. I actually thought that was kind of a funny idea. It's like,
I gotta see gameplay. Yeah.
But I haven't had the time to see gameplay. This just popped in, so I was like, okay, we'll cover this real quick. It's kind of funny. Force reset triggers are legal now.
Well, I just noticed the gun. She's making it like a cross. That I see.
You know who else did that?
Who?
I just had his name on the top of my tip of my tongue, and I just pulled a brain fart. But the guy who made From Dusk Till Dawn. They actually made a shotgun with to the shape of a cross. He would cock it he would have a cross shape in front of him, like she's doing. Cock it, the shotgun, and point it back and shoot.
I don't remember that from the movie.
That was actually
yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. But that movie stuck in my head because of the foot scene, and when someone told me about his foot attraction, I was like, that makes more sense now. Still bizarre.
Yeah, Tarantino. Yeah.
Tarantino, thank you. Quentin Tarantino. Yes. But so yeah, nuns and guns, 40,000 wish list. So if you like nuns and you like guns and you want to do the Lord's work and be a patriot of the 2A and have some laughs, I guess this game's for you.
It might have gooning material in it, but it wouldn't be for me. No.
Yeah. We all know.
Get it.
No goon to nuns, unless
No.
it's like some fantasy nuns, like the Sword
didn't-
Maiden.
Y'all need to get y'all's minds clean because I didn't say anything about gooning. I just said nuns and guns and the Lord's work and 2A and maybe a couple of
I
laughs.
didn't show a picture like that.
That is fair. That is fair. I'll give you that. But y'all need to get y'all's head out of the gutter. Shame on y'all. But where'd it go? Oh, do y'all remember who played oh, actually I forgot to cover this one. So y'all remember we talked about the Bible game, Based?
Bible game. Yeah. Yeah, the one about giants.
Yes. I didn't have time to cover it last week, but there's more news on it. So to give people up to speed, there was a game about, before the flood. So they were talking about you're basically you're not being preached to. They're saying you're not being preached to. It's just you living you experiencing the world of the Bible before the flood. So that way they're not, contradicting the Bible. They're just using biblical based events, scenes, and timeline and beliefs to give you an experience, like a different take, right? Kind of like how Assassin's Creed would talk about the story, but it was Altair's story or I just pulled it right in front of his name. It's the Auditore and all those, right? But you're living that time period, and you might see some things that are historic, but it's basically the story of the main protagonist. So you saw the history as it unfolded, but it wasn't the gospel truth of history, right? In this case, that's the same thing here. But there was some controversy about the name, all right? And the controversy was very small. It was I wouldn't even say it was the entire Arabic community, but you know how we have the IGN journalists, right, that would say certain things and spin certain things a certain way as alt-right, or if you don't like this game, you're alt-right, sexist, misogynist, right? Well,
yeah,
they were getting attacked because they mistook the name as Elijah from the Bible, and they says, "Oh, you play as the prophet Elijah," which they did not say, because obviously Elijah, in the Bible, was not a leper. And well, we got news on that.
Yeah, what's going on?
So there was an update. This is translated from Arabic. Okay, Just Play It is one of the three that I've noticed that was covering it. The largest video game network in Algeria, North Africa, and they said after the controversy that occurred, we conducted an exclusive interview with the developer of the Base. Link below. The developer confirmed the game will not contain profits. The developer said change the name Elias to Lithera. So I don't even know how you got Elijah from that. Right, to be fair. And developer responds regarding the possibility of Arabic language support in your questions.
It's translated from Arabic, so something could be lost in that translation.
They translate it as
like
update following the uproar surrounding the game. Like there was an uproar, right?
Okay.
The Polish developer clarified there's no real historical figures or profits. They were spinning this just like before, that there was an uproar, right? But I covered it in my thing, and I don't know too many people that covered it as well. But I would say that even my video with my current following is one of my lowest viewed videos, showing that it didn't get a lot of I want to play this game. A lot of hype, a lot of people reacting.
Yeah, even my video
which is
about
fair.
getting
Christian games rarely do well.
Yeah, like my video about getting my high guard money back is one of my lowest performing videos in a while. So it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I got a theory about mine.
Yep. But
why mine got hit.
Yep.
Let me explain it real quick.
Why?
I'll do it real quick. I got hit by YouTube censorship for a thumbnail, one thumbnail on two different videos, same thumbnail. And it was, they said there was too much sex in it. And I'm like, too much sex? Well, neither person was touching each other. There was no nudity or nothing. And so I appealed them. One of them got the appeal was approved, and the other one was rejected. Same thumbnail. So I had to go through their little class about that kind of content, what's allowed and what's not allowed. So I went through that little class, but they still got a mark on me until May 21st.
Oh, you got a strike, Bo?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, because of a thumbnail. But the thing was, they struck 2 videos with the same thumbnail, and I appealed both of them. One of the appeals was approved, the other was not.
Even
Does that
so,
make any sense?
you should probably.
I tried. There's no way. Once it's denied, there's no way you can appeal it.
No, I'm saying change the thumbnail. The one that was approved.
I did.
Take it down anyway.
I had 4 different videos with that same thumbnail, and I changed them all.
Okay, we gotta keep moving.
But anyway,
but we can talk about more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sexpo, I hope we can get that fixed for you. But anyway, so what I wanted to cover on this is that's why I was going to Damage Trail is that said recently a game was announced that features a prophet. This is the original post that started the massive backlash that they were claiming. It's the same people, right? Featured the prophet Elias, peace be upon him, as a player character, which was not the same as the character they appointed. They want to remind everyone that the prophets hold a great status in Islam and is impersonally depicted in human form, blah blah blah. We want to, but here's the thing: the devs did respond to it, and they said, "Thank you for reaching out. Our game is made up, right? Like the name is Elias, not Elijah, not Elias, or any real name. Like they clarified that here in their response, right? But here's the thing. Thank you for the clarification in your response. According to your reply, the game contains completely fictional story. However, in the bio, there's a phrasing saying Bible inspired. And as you know, the Arabic religions, right? The Arabs don't like the Jews or the Christians, and the Christians would fight against the Islamic, right? Like there's a whole, controversy thing, right? The triangle that's been going on for centuries. But here, when you scroll back to what we were posting earlier, right, that the issue was the prophet Elijah, and it was actually when they got called out, it says, "Oh no, it was Bible inspired," right? The question of Bible inspired, we want to know what that means, and I believe not just as a Christian, right? I believe if you named a character as something and people are trying to spin it something else, or if you have intentions of your game and people are accusing of something else, you should let your game stand on the merit, right? You should say, here's what we have on this, and if this is what your intention of your world is, don't change anything. If you claim to be a Christian dev and you're changing your thing, you're bending the knee rather than trusting God. If you're bending the knee, because they came out and said we respect all religions, the whole power phrase, right? But if you're a game designer and you, for example, and change your game to the taste of what a small minority says, you're not trusting the merits and value of your game itself. So I am very disappointed to hear that they changed the name. I understand the why, but when we look at the why, it's because it's a Bible game. It's not because of the actual lies or anything like that. But yeah, they had to change their name because of some minor controversy.
It just seems like people got mad and they didn't even look at the plot of the game.
Yep, and instead of trusting the plot of the game, the devs bent the knee and changed the name to not offend people.
It's just a character name. Those get changed all the time.
Yeah,
Shadow's original name was supposed to be Terios in his scrap design.
Yep. But yeah, so that's why I'm like I'm a bit disappointed because like the name doesn't even come close to Elijah or Elisha or Elias, whatever. I'm not Muslim. I don't want to offend any Muslim people. I don't read your Quran. Don't fucking care.
Elijah is in the Bible too.
Yeah, Elijah's in the Bible, but they're saying Elias. They're saying Elias. They're saying this name was similar to was the exact same as another name, and now they changed it to Lyris in response to the players. But the players didn't respond. What did we see? Who was making the problem?
Who was it?
That we saw, that we tracked. I'll go back. I'll do it again. I'll go do it again. Important warning. The prophets in Islam. Our game is fantasy. Our protagonist is Elias, not Elijah, Elias, or any real name. And then they say, however, in Bible inspired. So is it really about the name Elias, or is it because of the Bible? And was it the players, or was it just one account? That's what I'm pointing out here, Dash.
Yeah,
We
we
just
don't
followed the
know.
tweet.
We don't know
We
why
followed the
they did
breadcrumbs.
this.
No, they said why. I just said they said why. They said why. They did it.
Yeah, but we don't know how many
The
people were
developer
doing
says
it.
he will change his name from Elias to Lethias in response to players. We do know.
But
I
we
just
don't
showed
know
you.
if they were
Dash.
even going to get the game. We don't even know if they were going to get the game.
That's the point. Dash. Okay, put down your phone. Pay attention.
I am paying
After the
attention.
controversy that occurred, we conducted. Okay. So what
Yeah,
are
but
you
I
not
haven't
getting
seen.
here?
I haven't seen
That's what I'm
any
trying to say.
of the
It's like-
backlash tweets. That's the thing. You said you
That's
couldn't
the
find
thing
them.
I'm telling you. There was no backlash tweets. I know. There was no backlash tweets. The backlash tweets, when we clicked this thing, came from the same account.
Huh? Weird.
I'm
I know
clicking
nothing
their
about the
quote
game,
tweet
so I
responses. All the way
have
down.
no opinion on it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That they're trying to say that it was a win for players, but as we noted, not many people were focused on this game, and it was one account that wanted to spin the Islam thing, which fine, you can believe whatever religion you want, but go make your own Islam game. All right. I'm not speaking this as a Christian, I'm speaking this as a gamer. Go make your own game. They're trying to say that the players reacted to it, but the only ones that were reacting to it was just play and a bit in the abase
So,
spent the knee, is what I'm saying.
the
They changed the name
abase.
because this one account, yeah. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. This one account made the abase change their name because they found it offensive because one name they thought was Elijah, the prophet. And they're like, no, and they even said, no, it's not Elijah, it's not Elias, it's this other, it's Elias. I can't even pronounce that. And they changed it to Lethias, which whatever. One account. They changed for one account. That's all I'm saying. There was no controversy, but they're trying to spin it as one. Are we on the same? Are we understanding?
Yeah, of course.
Or
Well,
Okay.
what? No, like no. You
Cool.
addressed. You
That's-
addressed my question.
okay, yes, that's what I'm trying to ask. It's like there was no players. I want to make this. There was no players because, as we pointed out, not many people were given this a really
Okay,
big.
so it's confusing
attention.
because they said players, but you can only find one account
said
complaining.
Yes, I only found one account. There was maybe another one that would retweet this or a couple of quote tweets, but not enough to be like a big thing.
Yeah, that's
It was
super
just
weird.
I'm offended because of my religion, and I think you should change it because you say your game's a Bible inspired game. So you're offended by that. And then the devs bit the knee. I'm not saying the base isn't going to be a good game. I still find it interesting, but I'm just saddened by the fact that they'll bit the knee. Because if they bit the knee on Elias, what's the next thing you're going to bend on? Are they going to say that Adam wasn't the first man or Eve wasn't the first wife of Adam and it's going to be the daughter of Lilith, which is not even based on biblical fact or Hebrew even? I'm just pointing that out there. That's just something to point out there. Anyways, but we haven't played a game, right? Dash, but we haven't played the game. So we really should shut the fuck up. You know why? Before we get into this base dev,
I'd never heard of that game.
We're going to give you the context of why we should shut the fuck up. So, hold on.
I never understand
Hear it.
and being hostile about it or being rude about it.
Let me see if we can do it this way.
But I understand
That's
being
not letting me hear
upset, and I understand voicing your opinion.
Basically, this
But, like,
guy
I
has
never
salty.
played
I don't know why
it.
it's not show here.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's on. I'm not muted.
No one cares.
I don't know why. I
Like,
was trying to.
we
figure
don't
out-
need
I'm
to
trying get
hear
the
that
sound
you
on, but
weren't
it's not
into
showing the
it.
sound.
Like,
But basically, Jeff Kaplan's advice to people who complain about
What is
video
with
games
this-
he's never played.
oh my
is
god,
to
I'm
shut the
so
fuck up,
upset. They just
right? And this is Niall Stanley, a former Bungie dev and current indie dev. He says, "Let me explain how it actually is. You have every right to hate any game and complain about any company for any reason. If you want to hate Halo, cool. If you want to hate my new indie game, go right ahead. I can take it. However, Jeff Kaplan can't take it. So what do y'all think? Should we be shutting the fuck up, or should we actually say why we don't want to play a game or why we didn't buy a game?"
We need to complain more.
I don't hate.
Yeah.
I don't get nasty about it and hate on the devs or continue
Well,
continue spewing hate on a game months later like people do with Starfield.
well,
You know,
I'm not
for
like
example,
I'm not
if
like
I don't-
Smash or you know.
If
Hold
Pirate
on, one
Nation.
at a time. Let Bo finish. Dash, hold on. Let
If
Bo finish, and we'll
if
let
I
you
don't
talk.
like a game, I'll say it,
Mhm.
one day, and then I might say it again some other time, but I don't sit there and rehash it over and over and over and over and over again. There's no point. There's no point in it. You're just spewing hate on a game that you're not going to play. Move on to something you're going to play or another game you don't like. But don't just sit there keep rehashing how much you hate one particular game 3 years later, like they still do with Starfield and a few others.
To be fair, I still do that with Fire Emblem Engage. But yeah, to your point, Bo, I absolutely agree. Like, you know, I'll see Pirate Nation and Smash use the Burger King, the McDonald's Peppy meme, you know, whenever a game studio like lays people off. Like, I don't want people to lose their jobs intentionally, but I'm going to be honest when I don't like a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that sounds. Here's the thing. Not every game's going to be for everybody. If you like Dragon Age of Veilguard, I'm going to look at you funny. I'm going to think you done bumped your head, right? Not just that's just me, but you're allowed to like it. Just like actually, I don't want to feel proud or not just trying not throwing you under a bus, right? But I remember this. We were talking about in one of my live streams, or I'm not sure it was me playing a game or me covering Dragoncast, but we were talking about Assassin's Creed Shadow, and he said he was going to play the game. He got the game, he pre-ordered the game, he wants the game, he wants to play it. And I was like, you know what? That's totally fine. My channel is I'm not gonna ridicule you for getting a game. Now I might give Dash shit.
Yeah,
or
you
Bo
teased me
shit.
about High Guard, but
Yeah.
I was literally trying to give it a fair shake.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like we're friends and we can do that to each other. We give each other shit. That's the point. But when High Guard came out, we did an honest take on it, did we not? Did we?
Yep.
We say the nuance. We said that everybody. Well, please. I'm not sorry, Free Fire. I am not reading all that. Okay, this is not the place to read all that.
Ghostbusters.
No, he's got like he went on a rant. So you need to tone it down. All right. I understand that you want to get things off your chest, but not like this. Not like this. All right. I'm not trying to put you under the bus. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not reading all that. I'm not highlighting all that. I got a lot of cover here. I'm not trying to be rude, but holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Like, rein it in. Yeah. Right. You were just reflecting. I understand that but you need to let other people talk too. This is not a place to rant. And I don't know where my mods are that were in here. I'm gonna throw that person under the bus.
I don't know. Philip he'll come in soon.
That one. That one. Don't worry, she went. My mods that are there that want to be that are actual mods. Not everyone that has a friend is a mod. Some more content creators, but my actual mods should be helping with this situation. Which I'm not saying that Free Fire should be banned. I'm saying I don't want to see a rant spam like this. This is not the place for it. All right. If you're a subscriber, if you've been a member of my Discord, I have a main chat where you can rant about games and stuff like that and have people talk about that. I might come in as well and talk about it. But here on the live stream, it takes away from the news we want to cover. All right. I'm trying not to offend you. I'm trying not to dismiss your things because I haven't read it. I'm just saying I'm not going to read it because we're live. It takes away from what we're all trying to talk about.
Don't feel bad because Levistro has shut me and shut Dash and Karis down before when we get off topic and shit. So don't feel bad about that,
man.
He does it to us too, and we know we get off topic, and we're all like, "Oh, sorry."
And I do it to myself, and I realize we got off topic. And sometimes even they tell me in the private chat. It's just rants in chat is not a good thing. I don't think it's. I think when people see someone ranting in a chat, they're like, "Where's the mods at? Where's why isn't anyone controlling this?" And they might not feel like they want to be able to. They might not be inclined to share their takes that's actually on topic. So Discord, definitely the place to do it. All right. As long as you're following the rules, I don't care. Chat, I understand like you might need a multiple post to get something in context. As long as it's related to the topic, I can understand that. But that's like, I just noticed this. This guy's been doing this for a while. And we're kind of losing track because I thought even with this we'd be an hour in and we're not, which it happens. I'm not mad at you, dude. I'm just saying rein it in. That's all I'm asking you is just rein it in. So I do apologize. Also, Dungeons Deep has got a wishlist achievement unlocked. Well, that's not the right one I saved. Okay. But this is Dungeons Deep. But did y'all, Bo, you might know this. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
Tabletop,
the OG ones?
Yeah.
TSR?
Yeah. I had 486 computer. I had a Dungeons and Dragons game on. But I also did tabletop.
I'm talking about the original tabletop.
Yeah.
So you know the gelatinous cube?
Yeah. It's like
what is that?
Square. It's like a square of jelly.
Yep.
That's
all your goal.
That's what. Yep. This is what. Fuck! I know his name. I'm not good with. There's something wrong with my brain. I can't remember things today. But co-creator of D&D, Gary Gygax, right? This is why they created the cube in a certain shape and dimensions because the dungeons were the same dimensions. And the purpose he explained or someone pointed out is that explains why the dungeons are always picked clean because this cube, right, would pick up players, animals, bodies, and devour them till there was stuff but bones, right? That's why the dungeons were always seemingly clean, so to speak. So as you can see here, the cube is literally wall to wall, floor to ceiling. I thought
there's no getting around that. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Dungeons Deep, everybody has they made it on the wish list apparently, and yeah, but that's the wrong one. I had one that actually had their wish list, but I forget where it went. Like I said, but did you know Notch gave a shout out to an indie game?
Oh, which
and
game?
help boost wish list of another game called Gold. I think they said it right. Gold on Steam. Big thanks to Notch for sharing a little indie game. The Gold means a lot to us. Like
Oh, Craven Games. They follow me.
Country crawler. Love this in chess. Check it out. So
Yo, this
so this is Notch's
team.
Game.
No, Vistro. This is the team Nintendo fucked over.
Yeah. Yes. That's why we're covering it. I was waiting for you to pick it up, but yes, definitely. So go ahead and give people the lore.
Yeah, so these guys made this game called The Great Rebellion on Steam, which had a bunch of edgy right-wing memes. They took all those edgy right-wing memes out for the Nintendo version. Nintendo approved, but at the very last minute, it got banned from both the English and Japanese store. The English one first, and then the Japanese one later, after they had spent money on dev kits. The game was literally going to come out the next day. Yeah. So Nintendo obviously got bullied by like Germany or something and just fucked these people out of their fucking money. And I felt really bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they followed me because I made a video about it.
But Dave announced it's but you should totally find that video and put it in the chat for people to watch.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely.
I don't have, like I said, I had it, but I didn't. Because if you didn't recognize it, I was going to mention it. I was like, Dash, you should know these people. You made a video on it.
No, I did recognize it.
They've met. Yeah, so I was saying, it's like if you didn't, I was going to say something. Because I know you made this is why I put it in there because you had covered it in the past. So, anyways, my point is like they have 7,000 wish lists, and yeah, when I make the short for this, I'll put the link in the thing. But I literally had to remove a lot of the things I list because of technical difficulties. We're going to cover. Do y'all remember Rockstar and Guitar Hero?
Yep.
You enjoyed it back in the day?
I never. My niece did. I would sit there and watch her play that, but I never would play it.
Because, well, I guess since it's well, you should, because Sound System is a next-gen music game from the creators of Guitar Hero, Rock Band, and more. So they're trying to bring back this gameplay style. I remember playing this in the barracks with my buddies.
Mm-hmm.
We would get so drunk and play Guitar Hero. Try playing Guitar Hero on max difficulty while you're shit-faced drunk and one beer away or one shot away from the porcelain gods. Just pointing that out there. But remember, I do remember this. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they're trying to bring that game back, and wanted to see if y'all thought about it.
I used to play the ton out of these types of games, especially Guitar Hero 3. Great games. I'd love for that genre to come back.
I didn't like them. My fingers weren't good enough for them.
Yeah.
And yeah,
What about
they
you,
even
Bud?
have a similar mini game in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with the was it with the piano? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did that mini game. I sucked at it. Yeah, I won't play those games.
Yeah.
I mean, they're cool games, but I really suck at them.
I'm going to cut.
Rhythm games are hard.
Hmm?
Rhythm games are hard.
Go ahead. Yeah. I think we're going to probably shoot one more, and then that's it on this one. But where's it at here? So, all right. So people were expecting a lot from Crimson Desert to be, I guess they were expecting Skyrim or something in some cases.
They were expecting the second coming.
But
of video
if you like
games.
Morrowind, however, yeah, this guy's making a Morrowind, except you're extremely powerful and have hundreds and hundreds of spells at your disposal. So called The Bloodline. It's available on Steam. So that's your upcoming game. I will do better organizing these better, but I need to figure out why I'm having internet issues. I might need to.
Yeah, it's been the
I need
past
to
couple
find
of weeks.
time to get Google Fiber into my house. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know what's going on because it shouldn't be doing this problem. But yeah. So we had that right. I think we should pay tribute to the man, the myth, the legend. So we're gonna go to that. This will probably be short, but I figured we could all, like, most of our generation will probably remember Chuck Norris from, especially if you're in Texas. We grew up on Walker, Texas Ranger because of our parents, right? But I remember Chuck Norris for more than just that. Chuck Norris and my dad. Of course you couldn't, because the eyes of the Ranger were upon you, and you didn't like that, because that's where the Ranger's going to be, you know. Anyways, Chuck Norris was in at least 4 games. People don't realize it. Like, he had his own game in the Atari, and then in 2008 and then I think 2010, he had 2 more games that came out, and then or names that people used his name on, and then he was in Crime Boss, right? I remember Chuck Norris because my dad, like, people remember Chuck Norris from Walker, Texas Ranger. Yes, I did watch it with my dad too. But the very first time my dad let me watch his type of movies, right? He wanted me to watch Chuck Fu movies and action movies. My very first Chuck Norris movie was Return of the Dragon. It was a Bruce Lee movie. And then I saw him in Missing in Action. It was a post-Vietnam War movie. And then he had Delta Force. Like, he everyone knows him from movies. But he was also influencing games. And some people actually said that his combat style, like his kicks and stuff, inspired some of even the old Sprites animation kicks. But I figured we'd all have a chance to honor him, because a movie star who
he was a badass.
Yeah.
Yep. A living legend.
And the thing is, he was a down to earth badass movie star.
Yep.
You never saw him, never saw him let all that stuff swell his head.
He was one of the best additions to the Expendables too, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Him and Arnold had a feud. I don't know if they still had a feud when the Expendables was going on, but him and Arnold had a feud, and in the 80s, him and Sylvester Stallone had a feud. But I need to correct something here, because people don't understand. Chuck Norris didn't die. All right, the official report, to get the method straight here, because people don't understand this. He simply just moved to heaven to train King Kai before his fight to defend the Earth realm. Just putting that out there. But yeah.
Now, I heard he actually died 20 years ago. Death was just very late to tell him.
Yeah. And you never question Chuck Norris. His wife would tell you that. And, well, he ended World War II. Which is a coincidence, people say, but he ended World War II as the day he was born. The Nazis were like, oh, shit. But that being said, we were going to have a conversation on
Crimson Desert.
No, before Crimson Desert. Mikey was going to tell us about a game that I was like, you know what? We're just going to postpone it because he had family issues he had to deal with. So we're going to do an oldie but goodie. Okay, we're going to talk about Crimson Desert now. And what I'm going to do, I want to do it a certain way. Here is, I'm trying to figure out where we're going. Why is this thing not coming up? Remove. There we go. So we're going to talk about Crimson Desert. Now, I'm going to point something out here. I have, because like my video I started a dumpster fire with my video about Denuvo. And I want to make it perfectly clear. I've never said Crimson Desert would never succeed. I only reported the news that it did allegedly. This is the numbers I've heard, and I can't prove it, but this is the numbers I've heard. And I still don't think, and I'm not sure if I mentioned in the video, but I did say I don't think it's going to affect the game too much. But allegedly, there was over 600,000 pre-orders that were canceled. Allegedly. I know I canceled it. Some people mentioned in my comments they were canceling theirs. It was all over Steam because they felt they were betrayed by Denuvo. Denuvo has a history of bad performance, invasive files, all kinds of stuff, and being cracked. Like, let's being honest here. Like, people say, "Oh, it takes a year." No, they're being cracked within days. The last victim was, other than Crimson Desert, was Resident Evil Requiem. It got cracked by pirates in a day. So there is that. But I've always also wanted, despite the Denuvo, I wanted to succeed. But like with Stellar Blade and a few other games, right? It was on my backlog. Like, I'm going to wait for the Denuvo to come off, and I'm going to buy the game because I don't condone piracy. But I will say, it was the one game I was monitoring while everyone else was playing it. I was asking Dash, right? I asked you when you were playing it, how was the game? How did you have any CTDs, right? I asked Bo the same question because these were reviews that were actually becoming on mostly negative. And these reviews, even Crimson Desert has asked. And then I was talking to Cass, I was talking to Hypnotic, I was talking to Mikey and Scene and Val. And Val actually gave a review. It's like, if you're in my Discord, you have a chance right now, because at the end of the Crimson Desert conversation, if you've played Crimson Desert, we will bring up that chat that there's a new channel out there just for those reviews, just for this episode. Well, we will read your takes from the Discord chat. That's where you can say your take, because Val, he made a wall of text. But we're going to answer some questions on that, and we're going to address some concerns, and we're going to get Dash's and Bo's takes. But I want to ask y'all something. Do y'all feel like it was doing way too much or doing a lot at the beginning? Did it feel a little overwhelming with the amount of systems?
Not yet. It doesn't feel like it has that many systems before, but I definitely feel like they've only scratched the surface of the game.
So you could understand where people might feel like it's doing too much because there's just a lot there. And like you said, you felt like you barely scratched the surface. If I remember correctly, you said or tweeted or something, correct me if I'm wrong, that you just finished the game.
I did not say that.
I thought it was you. Maybe it was someone else I mixed up with you. But
no way. I'm not even nearly as close. I'm only on chapter 3 or 2.
Maybe I misread that because you said something about the game recently.
Oh, I was explaining how to solve a particular puzzle.
Oh, that puzzle that people are allegedly having problems with?
It was actually a very simple thing. You just have to light the thing on fire. I said, so you can dip your arrow in the fire and then it'll catch fire just like Breath of the Wild. Or you can actually shoot the arrow above the flame, but you also risk destroying some of the torches, which I did.
Okay.
But
now I gotta step out. I gotta step out and see what's happening with Karis. See if he's doing okay because he's still not here yet. And also make sure my son takes his does his thing because it's 7 o'clock here. So I'm gonna start this by letting y'all tell the audience y'all's take. Like, y'all, I want to know. Let them know what version of the game you're playing. Were y'all playing on PS5, PS5 Pro, PC? Give an idea of your like if you're comfortable with it. Give an idea of your specs. So people are like, okay, you're playing this. What graphic quality you're using, and Then just like your first initial experience of the game for both of y'all, and then just see if y'all can carry on the conversation until I get back. I got to take care of my son.
So I have a GeForce RTX. I don't know what model. My PC was built by a professional because I actually had a good friend who had good connections. So so I got a pretty much like one of the a really powerful PC. Game runs perfectly fine, though I did lower some settings. And honestly, I think the world is super immersive. I like how the NPCs it seems like they almost all of them have a lot of them have names. Some of them are just called Stranger, but I feel like they all have schedules and they're all out and about. I think that's super cool. I was fishing at one point, and then when it was at night, the dock was empty, and then all these other fishermen came, as it became morning. Then the dock suddenly became crowded. I thought that was super cool. The biggest thing for me is the combat system. Just the controller mapping in general is a lot, but if you can get used to that, it's good. And a lot of the puzzles, they don't hold your hand with the puzzles, so you got to figure it out. There is no yellow paint. Anything you want to add, Bo?
Well, I started over. I have 3 streams on it now, and I started over today, and I got it caught up to where I was on my 2 streams. But I started it over, and I had to take a different approach because I think I was one of those that I knew not to expect a great story. I knew not to expect, a lot of direction arrows, stuff like that. I already knew and expected that, but I was kind of bored. I was like, well, I didn't feel compelled to run off and explore. But then I watched a few people, and they said if you get past the first 8 to 10 hours, the game really starts rolling. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take this game and start playing a little differently. I think I was in too much of a hurry when I first started it. So I just slowed down. And I started enjoying it more. The control mapping for keyboard and mouse keyboard sucks. I mean, it's a PC game. They got it on PC. They need to have full keyboard and mouse support, and they don't. You can't even change some of the key bindings. And not even that's one complaint about it. Not even on a controller. It has some issues with targeting, like when you're trying to target a person to talk to, like one of the vendors, and boy, it just goes through all the stuff on their table first before it gets to the vendor. Stuff
Yeah,
like
you have
that.
to you have to look at. I described it as being like an old school adventure game in that regard.
I've accidentally bought crap because I was trying to talk to the person and ended up buying something on their table because you got to move your character just right. And there's like cleaning the chimney on that one quest. You've got to target the chimney just right. And sometimes when you're looting, you got to stand in specific spots. You can't, like the vendors, you cannot talk to them, initiate a conversation if you're standing behind them. You have to be in front of them and in front of their counter. Stuff like that. A little annoying, but I started liking it. I would say I want to love it. Matty Plays, I watched one of his videos today and he said it perfectly. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I like it. However, I do want to love it. They got some changes. They got some stuff they need to do, but I'm starting to come around to it today. My first piece of advice with it is don't get in a hurry.
Yeah, I've been taking my time. I've been doing the bounties, trying to get some money, upgrading some gear. I'm realizing that this story is probably not going to pick up till halfway through the game with how it's going and like.
Without giving spoilers, the story, if you're expecting some Academy Award winning Pulitzer Prize thing, you're not going to get it. And the very beginning of the story, there's the only thing I'm going to say, there's certain things that happen, and then there's no rhyme or reason, no explanation why Cliff was chosen. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. It just seems like he was like.
I'm hoping they explain it later in the story, but it kind of jumps around. I mean, there's things that happen that just don't make any sense because they don't.
It's obviously he got scouted by these magic people that want him to like save reality or something.
Don't give too much away right now.
Oh yeah, I won't give. I mean, it's all mentioned very early on.
But why?
Why exactly?
Why
no spoilers
there? So, but this morning's stream, I was actually getting into it. The combat wasn't too bad. I'm not too keen on controllers, but at the same time, I had to play Stellar Blade with the controller. I sucked with the keyboard with Stellar Blade, and I had it on PC, so I had to play it with controller. So I can adapt if I want, need to. As far as the no yellow paint, that's mostly true. Because this is what I've noticed. They do put your quest objectives on a mini map and a map. You can filter it out. You can do all kinds of things. So you can have your quest objectives on a mini map to help you find them. And as far as the puzzles, at least the ones I ran into, they give you a hint of what to do in the middle of the screen, at the bottom middle of the screen, but they don't tell you what to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They don't tell you how to do it. So they'll say, like, you got to put this thing over here. You got to power up the deal. Well, you got to figure out in that puzzle what you're going to do to power up the deal. So it keeps you focused on what you need to do, but not how to do it. So in that respect, now there's no yellow paint, but they at least give you a hint of what you need to do to get to the next part of the puzzle.
Yeah, I want to show you.
You know what that reminds me of? Before you continue, Josh, what Bo was saying. You know what that reminds me of? Now, some people might know this, but I didn't. You remember in Skyrim, you need the Dragon Claw keys to unlock certain dungeon areas?
Yeah.
And you had a little puzzle, right? You had to select the right combination, and then you had the right Dragon Claw to unlock the dungeon. I didn't know this, but underneath the Dragon Claw was the combination you needed for each door.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you that's in that. They don't tell you that. Bethesda never tells you that code combination is on the Dragon Claw. You just kind of had to figure it out by scrolling and examining the item in your inventory or whatever. But Dash, before I share your screen, if you don't mind, we had this thing here where you said this took me longer than it should, but I finished it. This is what I thought you meant by the game. I had to find it.
Oh no, just this puzzle, just this particular puzzle.
Yes. And you said this game is filtering so many people who are used to yellow paint guiding them through everything. I'm going to say I disagree with that part, because there are people who are used to yellow paint that are also under the mentality of, I'm not going to let this game fucking beat me. The common denominator on the reviews, because I watched the reviews on the live when this thing was coming out, like I was monitoring the reviews, I was monitoring the nouveau status, because the Pirates submitted on it. Insider Gaming even covered this. The Pirates are admitting they're going to have this game cracked within 24 hours. All right, so I was watching all that while I was watching y'all. But the common reviews, aside from crashes to desktops, which I will point out later, even Crimson Desert acknowledged it. Was some parts was performance, some parts of it was the story was slow burning, and I asked you about that. But also, the controls, and this is where I want to ask Bo and you. Did y'all play with the controller or the keyboard? I mean, both did answer it, but did y'all find it? Because even Will of the fans acknowledged on his review that the controls were clunky. But did y'all feel that same way?
Yeah, I mentioned the control mapping. The mapping is all over the place. You have to press multiple buttons to do a single action.
Yeah, the interface is terrible. I will tell you, I won't hold back on that. The interface, if you've ever played a Korean MMO, the interface is designed for that. It's coming from an MMO company. They do that on purpose, so you'll spend money on certain things in their cash shop.
Yep.
They want to keep you confused. Well, there's no cash shop, but I think they're going to be setting up for one when they've got multiplayer waiting in the wings. And when they do multiplayer, they're going to have a cash shop. But this is the way them Korean MMOs are. Their UI is so confusing to get somebody to say, oh, screw it, I'll just buy this off the cash shop. The inventory space thing, they didn't have extra inventory space. People keep running out. So they set it up in a patch where you can buy inventory space off vendors, and they added it as quest rewards. I tell you what they were going to do is, because all those cash shops in them Korean games have you buy inventory space. Well, they set up a single player game, and people aren't going to have that.
Yeah.
So they had to bend the knee to the players on that. So they set it up to where you could buy the extra inventory space, almost like you're in a cash shop, except you're using in-game money.
Well,
the UI is confusing as hell. Performance-wise, I use a 40. I got a 40.
Well, we'll get to performance in a moment. We're gonna try to keep this on the subject of controllers. But for those who, and then we'll get to Dash's, because Dash wants to share something. But for those who don't know, I saved this because, like I said, I try to be fair in everything. If you're playing Crystal Desert on a PC with a controller and want to remap your buttons, a mod has just been released that allows you to do that. And literally, it came out today. It's called the controller button remapper. So there's people in the community, especially the modding community, that's already making mods for this game, and that includes the answer to the controller remapping issue. So if you feel it's too clunky, there you go. That being said, Dash, you have something you want to share, so we're going to go ahead and let you share it. Oh, so it's the same shameless plug. I see.
Yeah, I was just responding to someone that was related to the. I just wanted to show you just an example of the puzzles in the game. So I found this thing like on the side of this abyss, like it was like a really cool like city thing. I used the little helmet thing. They said there was like a weapon.
The rumors are true. There's a weapon hidden somewhere close.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me a bit. Had to figure out how to get through the door. Eventually got it. And then this is where the hard part came in. I found this really fucking cool room.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Go back. Oh, wait, I guess you can't. Go to the door and pause it. Oh, I want to see the full. Scroll back just a little bit so we can see the door. Is right there. Sorry. What's the Elvish word for friend?
I don't know.
Melon, you didn't watch the Lord of the Rings, read the books? That literally reminds me of the door. That reminds me of the door from Lord of the Rings.
Lol. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, there's this chamber, there's a dragon statue in the middle, and then there's these 3 wheels.
Wow. I wonder how many people have found this already.
Yeah, so I took me a while. There's no clues on what the solution is, but I was able to figure it out. It took me a long while. There is absolutely no clue on what the the solution is. I won't tell you what the solution is, but I kind of sort of figured it out on accident at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just thought this room was really fucking cool. I think a couple of times I was like,
well, that's what games are supposed to do. They give you some hidden clue, or they just you
yeah.
have to figure out the pattern. Like this is even before like old games. So when people say, "Oh, this game's too hard,"
this is very old school, like
Yeah.
this style. Like there is like no hint. I thought maybe the statue was a hint. I thought like, but then like I went outside see if I could find anything. Had a hard time getting back. Just saw some chickens that actually run into the ruins.
But yeah, but when you think about it, like if you want to have a game that's immersed in lore, you're going to have a hard puzzle that just the random Joe Smo isn't going to figure out.
I mean, like it's such a hidden location. It's like a hidden like chamber at the bottom of this chasm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I do eventually solve it, and I do get the item that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't give the solution. But really cool room, and I just found this.
Yep. And yeah, so let's talk into real quick performance. Actually, hold on. Before that, I think I had a response to that. Give me a moment. We'll just point this out there. Give me a moment. So Pirate Nation has this out here. So if you want to say I'm talking bullshit, well, then if you think Pirate Nation is a trusted source, you should tell him he's being bullshitting. All right, I'm just going to point that out there. But Pirate Nation says Crimson Desert players are asking for refunds due to the terrible stunky controls. Whoever designed the control scheme should seek employment with the devil. But as we pointed out right earlier, there is a mapping mod out there. And they did say they're going to work some updates because I will say, because we're getting into performance, right? They, after the launch, they issued an update within that same launch day to address a lot of the issues people were having, right? So they are, Pearl Abyss has some issues, especially with the BDO community, especially with the microtransactions. But yeah, it's basically from what I saw of the gameplay, because I played Black Desert. I talked with Valkyrie Wetter, who still plays BDO, and a couple others. It's basically in when it comes to control scene and UI layout, BDO to single player. But Bo, you wanted to talk about performance, so I'm going to ask this once, and while y'all are talking about, I'm going to go get those things prepared. But did y'all have performance issues? Any CTDs, anything like that?
No, I haven't crashed the desktop once.
Nope. The game runs beautifully. Like I lowered some settings, but like, I did that because I figured that they would just make the game run even smoother. But yeah, it doesn't stutter at all.
I'm running a 4090 RTX, and it defaulted. It defaulted to the cinematic graphics setting, so I just left it. I left it on cinematic the top graphic setting of the game. But I also have 128 RAM too, and a 12th generation Intel processor. So, but it ran fine. I actually had to cap the frame rate through NVIDIA because it was causing my stream to stutter. The game ran fine, but I was running such a high FPS that it was causing the stream to screw up and stutter, and so I actually had to cap it through NVIDIA at 120 just so it wouldn't screw up the stream. But on my end, on my computer, it was running great. I didn't have no stutters, no popping in, no screen tears. Looks beautiful. And I haven't had any FPS problems, even in forested areas. So it runs great.
What about you, Dash?
I think, like I said, I think the game runs fantastic. Like, you know, I updated my driver. I took care of everything before the stream. And game runs so smooth. I just love watching, like, the NPCs move. You know, the combat system, like, you know, I haven't been able to set a frame rate, but I'm wasn't going to go above 60 anyway. I'm assuming it runs at a good 60. But I have almost everything set to ultra, and the game is not chugging at all.
The only problem I had was with my initial launch of the game. The first time I launched it, it took almost 15 minutes for it to load in. But I haven't now. Once you get past that first initial load in, it's normal. The first time you launched a game. Now subsequent launches, you don't have to wait that long. It's pretty normal.
Yeah. Now, one thing I want to say that's fair on Crimson Desert, I had this in here. I want to show a couple of things. Let's reload it up. Is Crimson Desert, the Pearl Biz devs, they actually did address things in real time. All right, so we have if it loads up, I don't know what's going on. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on? Okay, so did X go down? I think X is down.
See.
Nope. Okay.
No problem loading here.
All right. I don't know what's going on. There's something. I'm gonna remove this.
Yeah, lot of.
I'll tell you one thing. Are you going to load? Okay, I'll shut up now.
Yeah. So Crimson Desert did post this out. This was at 5:25 p.m. March 19th, which was the day of the launch. If I remember, this is 30 minutes into the launch hour because it launched at 5 p.m. on my time. So he said Crimson Desert will receive an update around launch, which include fixes, improvements, and stability optimizations. For the best experience, please make sure to update the game to the latest version. If you're planning to play on Steam or PS, your download may be already be running, or you can download the patch now. The patch on Xbox, Epic Game Store, and Mac will follow at a later time. This is something I didn't know. They actually have it on the Epic Game Store, which I was under the impression the Epic Game Store was Unreal Engine exclusive, but they're not using the Epic engine, the Unreal Engine. They're using their own engine, Black Engine. So, anyways, would y'all agree that y'all had a patch update after y'all started playing? Because, well, I remember you said in response to my video saying you weren't originally going to get it, and then you said later on you changed your mind, you're going to get it, right? You talked about that.
Yeah.
But y'all both had. That's were you playing on PC or PlayStation? I forgot that.
I ended up getting the PC version because Amazon wouldn't get my order in time.
Okay. So did y'all have an update? Because I obviously was not playing the game when it launched. I was monitoring other things.
I got an update, like I don't think it's updated since I last played it.
Yeah, I started with their current version. So it updated when I downloaded it. I installed it. It didn't come around till 5 o'clock my time.
I did have an additional download when the game launched. It I just figured it was just files they didn't install in the preload.
Yeah, there was that. All the preloads are like that. They'll release the file that'll activate the game, but I didn't have an additional download for a patch download, I think, because of the time that it actually went live for me to be able to play, which was 5:00 in the evening on launch day. So I think they had already applied the patch by the time I was able to activate it.
Mm-hmm. And y'all clearly had updated drivers, correct?
Yep,
Yeah.
I updated the driver. Galaxy did not
Like
update
Dash, you
his
said you
driver, and his game crashed.
Yeah, my drivers are updated.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So that was the answer to the CTD. I always remember that. So that was one thing that people complained about. But we're gonna post this. This is from Mark Fox. I don't know who Mark Fox is.
Yep, he's been on my channel.
Yep. Shadows can look absolute garbage in Crimson Desert. Did y'all experience any of this in your streams?
No, the shadows look fine, but I have shadow settings on really low. So my shadows aren't the best anyway. I did that because Cass said she does
mine
that.
are cinematic, and I didn't have any problems. If you want to check it out, check out my latest stream that I started over. If you want to check it out, it comes across as 1080p, but I'm playing on cinematic graphics, and I didn't have any problems. None. But I got updated drivers on a 4090. I use studio drivers on a 4090 RTX.
All right. Another thing that had it on the Crash TD, I see it a lot. Yeah, that's fine. But another thing I'll point out here, and I can't remember the full story, but one of the things that people have CCDs that they did not realize was, well, Intel's graphics are not supported. So Intel says they reached out to Pearl Abyss for several years for help, but Crimson Desert still should without art graphic support. Intel said it was usually disappointed that players using Intel graphics cannot launch the game. I'm going to call bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit on Intel. And the reason why is because I remember earlier coverage saying that Pearl Abyss has been trying to get work with Intel, the opposite side, right? They were saying this first at the beginning. They were trying to get support for the Intel graphics card, but Intel was giving a runaround, so they said fuck it and went without. But if you have an Intel graphics card, you will have a CTD. That's where a lot of reviewers were having problems. But I did a coverage on the benchmarks, right? I did a coverage before the Nuvo thing came out because I was excited for it. I even gave what I thought my settings would be at running VTube Studio and all that stuff. They don't cover at all way, shape, or form the Intel graphics card. They covered the AMD and the NVIDIA. They also covered the ROG Ally. They didn't cover much on the Steam. I had to go look for that one, or the Steam Deck. And that's still in the air for support. So if you played it on the Steam Deck, let me know. I'll highlight it. And if you played it and you're a member on Discord, there's still time to point that out there, and we'll get your experience up here for the Steam Deck. But other than that, did y'all feel like y'all were experiencing any bottlenecking?
Bottlenecking, like any chug? No.
No, none at all. None at all. It's running great, even with the Nuvo.
Okay.
So they were,
which is surprising.
Yeah, I think you brought it up when I was streaming that the problem I had with it taking almost 15 minutes to load in the first time, that's a problem with the Nuvo. The Nuvo causes that problem. But once you after you load into it for the first time, you log out, go to bed, and play it the next morning, it's no problem now. It loads in fine.
Did y'all have problem? Did y'all have problem with HDR?
I don't even think I have an HDR monitor.
I don't have an HDR monitor.
I don't mess with that stuff.
Okay. Well, I won't share it, but Detective Seed says the most recent Crimson Desert patch has disabled his ability to turn on HDR. So, and he has a thing on that one. So I wanted to ask that question. So we'll just get that. Would you say you should treat this? I know I stepped away for a little bit, and I think y'all were mentioning it as I was coming back in. But PC Gamer mentions one thing they learned was to treat this game as a slow burn. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, treat it like a slow burn.
And that's why I did. That's why I did a complete start over for my third stream for it. I had started over and then picked up where I left off from.
Yeah, mess around
because I was getting
explore.
frustrated. I was getting frustrated in my first couple of streams in the first few hours because I was trying to be. How can I put this? You know how Skyrim and those games, you get into it pretty quick. The story and all that stuff, you get out there and you start exploring. That's not the case with Crimson Desert. And once I decided to start over and slow it down, take in the sights, stuff like that, just be very methodical about the quest I was doing and slowing down and learning how to play it, it started coming around for me.
Yeah, basically, Crimson Desert is best played if you just really enjoy like the scenery, enjoy the town, just do the quests. Don't worry about powering through the story because a lot of those early quests are just helping random farmers. Like even there are main quests that feel like side quests in this game. Like
those quests, you just do those quests and you don't have to be in a hurry. Your default movement is walking.
Yeah, you have to actually consciously to run.
You have to press the button to sprint. So they intend for you to take your time and do it. Because if you start sprinting or start running all the time, you lose
stamina. Yep.
So they intend for you to take your time to walk.
Yeah, and there's also very limited fast travel. Like fast travel points are very rare. Actually, you have to actually find them.
The rare, you got to find them and activate them.
Oh, just like the old days.
Yeah. So, if you're going to try it, if you're on the fence about buying it, and you're going to try it, I will tell you, it hasn't gotten to where I love the game yet, but I think it's going to get there.
I think it's going to get there too, man. It's clear they put a lot of love and effort, even with hearing that the game did have some development and direction issues, but it looks like they were, and some script rewrites also. So I'm sure the story took a hit for that. But other than that, like the core game and the world, absolutely beautiful. Like there's like, not to get too culture war-y or stuff, but you will not like see like anything outwardly modern audience like in this game. It looks very
women.
There's like women. There's like, there's some ugly like goblins and trolls like living in the town. Like, but it's fun. You pick up the bounties. Like I caught a woman that was like killing people by the church. Some guy pickpocketed me, and then turns out he had a bounty. I brought him to the jail.
There's one thing that's really disappointing for me, and it's not my gooner side talking, but there's one thing that's really disappointing for me is that you can't choose which protagonist you want to start with and do the story with that protagonist. And the reason why later on you get to choose which ones, but they share a pool. The ability points that you spend, they share them.
Yeah, I saw that.
They share the pool. So you can't just level up Cliff. You can just level up Cliff all the way if you want, spend all the ability points. And then when you want to switch to another character, you got no points to spend because it's all in one pool, or vice versa. So you set Cliff off to the side and play the girl, and you spend all these points getting your girl. Well, Cliff, you have to have him for story parts, from my understanding. You can't play with the alternate characters.
Really?
And certain story parts. Yeah, you have to do it on
I
Cliff.
would assume they would have their own like stories and side quests that they have to do.
I wish they did. I mean, even if you had to play Cliff during the main story, that would be fine. But they need to split it to where they don't share the same pool to build your character.
Yeah. So did you get this through spoilers or?
No, Luke Stevens was talking about it. I like Luke Stevens.
Oh, I've never heard of him.
They just share the points. Like some of them are common between the three characters you can play, but then there's when you want to branch off different abilities with the other two characters, they share the points. They share the. But
there is certain items that allow you to reset the.
Yeah, you can reset it, but I don't want to have to reset it to play a different character, because then if you want to go back to that character, you got to reset again and try and remember where you had all those points spent.
Yeah, and you have to find another artifact to reset.
Yeah. So they need to, I hope they separate that. I hope they give each character the ability. I don't mind that you have to play the main story with Cliff. That's fine, but don't. If I want to play one of the other characters, I don't want to share a pool of points.
You just want to play the hot female archer. Just be honest.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to. I want to buy that now.
Maybe they'll come out with.
You know me.
It would be nice if they had free DLC or something.
Yeah, I just don't want. I just don't want to have to reset my points. Like when I got to go back to Cliff, I had to reset the points and then remember where I put all those points.
Yeah. One thing I want to put up.
That's my major complaints.
Y'all mentioned the DLC and microtransactions. Pearl Abyss did claim, or state, I should say, is that they're not planning to do any microtransactions. They didn't say they wouldn't do DLCs, but they did say no microtransactions. We'll see about that.
I prefer DLC over microtransactions.
No, you need to read the whole quote. You need to read the whole quote. He said at launch, when they start adding multiplayer and stuff like that, you better believe there's going to be a cash up.
Oh, fuck. Man, that's going to be like GTA Online.
They're notorious for microtransactions. Yep. But so apparently also there's an insert, a self-insert from a member of our community, because Philip Morgan says that Cassie said the female character looked like him, and that's a very reliable source. But here's
it's a good thing we can customize it then,
because I didn't see on y'all. Yeah, here's one thing I want to add in here. You see the top here? Did y'all have this experience? You had an experience where it would do that? The black bar on the top?
The black bar at the top? I don't see it.
Hold on. See?
I haven't had no glitches or nothing like that. No.
Yeah, this guy's probably playing on a potato PC.
Yeah.
Possibly. But he says he's on RX 5070. I mentioned that because that's my graphics card right now.
Ooh.
So I was wondering if y'all ever had that same. I didn't see it when I was watching y'all. Like it's kind of interesting, right? Having to watch like 4 different people streaming at the same time, and on one screen and on the other screen, keeping an eye on the reviews. Because like this is the only game where, like, I didn't even do this for Stellar Blade, and I wanted to play Stellar Blade. Still haven't gotten it Nuvo, right? But this is the only game I really wanted to play. That I was like, well, since I can't play it, I know this game is highly polarized right now. I want to be the guy that gives a fair, honest take on everything. So I was like watching you, I was watching Cassie, trying to pick up things because we were going to talk about this. And one thing I've noticed is that from what I've seen, right? Because I think, Bo, what's your graphics card? I think I have a higher one than you.
Well, yeah, mine's 4090.
Yeah,
which is still a beast.
Yeah.
which is still a beast, but it defaulted when I launched the game. And was going to adjust the graphics and stuff like that. It defaulted to cinematic, and I just left it, and I haven't had an issue. I've been running cinematic graphics on it with no issue on a 4090.
Yep. Now, Dash, you run VTuber Studio like I do. What's your graphics card at?
My graphics card, like I said, I'm not good with the names of graphics cards, but it is like top of the line. Like the guy who installed it said, I'll be good for a couple of years.
Okay.
It's an RTX, GeForce RTX Republic of Gamers graphics card.
You can go into your settings, your Windows settings, and yeah.
Okay.
You go into your Windows. You can go into your settings and it'll tell you. Even if you have
yeah, where would that be under system?
Yeah, system. You can also find it.
Would that be under like specs?
Hang on just a second. All right, so where'd my systems button go?
Oh, device specifications.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. System patch. I have a AMD Ryzen 7 780 3D 8-core processor.
CPU.
Okay, not graphics card, but
that's still pretty good. All right, so system.
Yeah, you see, you broke up on me on your graphics card.
Oh, I have an AMD Ryzen 7 780X 3D 8-core.
Yeah, that's still pretty decent.
Yeah, that's still pretty good. Yeah. And we both, though, being VTubers, that VTube Studio takes a lot of GPU or CPU depending on how you run it. So I didn't even see that black mark on yours during your first stream I watched.
Yeah,
so,
I don't. I'm using a lot of processing power with advanced rendering, so I can have better lip movement tracking.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if I had an iPhone camera hooked up, I could actually stick my tongue out. I could actually stick my tongue out if I had an iPhone rigged to my computer, but I don't.
Do it, but bring your arms up with your fingers holding the number 2 on each side, on each hand, up in the air, so it's like parallel with your face. Stick your tongue out and just say "uwu."
Uwu.
Yeah, just like Phil said. Do the uwu.
I also need to get arm movement. I need to get arm movements at some point. That's just like a little extra, trying to bring down the costs. These VTuber models do not grow on trees.
No, they do not. Like mine cost me $200 because like you got a cheap Chinese knockoff. I was like, actually, the artist is American, and I paid $200 for it. I got what I paid for.
It's a decent model for $200. I mean, you paid like, and your channel's doing fine.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like, the guy.
Y'all remember I was getting Celestra, the co-host Celestra. I was getting a V2 model done up, and she looked hot. I had posted pictures of it, and it was really good. In my comments or post on YouTube, I had to trash it, and I got Etsy to back me on it because I put up pictures of what this VTuber was promising, what she was showing me through the development, or he, whichever the case may be. And then I put up pictures of what I got, and it's a complete Jekyll and Hyde situation. And so I ended up
getting scammed.
I ended up getting refunded my entire everything I paid for.
Yeah, I have to do everything through Etsy or Fiverr now after the small head dash citrus thing. That was a complete waste of money.
Yeah, if you go to my comments, it's I think it was one of the last comments I made. I posted the pictures of what was promised and what I received.
Yeah,
it It was
Okay,
pretty.
we're gonna point something out here because we did address all the legit complaints, right, that people did have with the game and y'all's own experiences with it, right? But we're gonna showcase someone with a bad take just because, well, I want to be fair, right? And it's not because of yellow paint. Dash.
Is it
So calm your
DPS?
titties.
I tell you, when I first started playing it, I was
I want to talk about
impressed
something
with
else.
the
with this.
graphics.
Yep. This is for a guy named Slender. Don't know who he is. Don't fucking care. It showed up on my feed. So I was like, you know what? Fine, whatever. I really dislike it when games force you to kill animals, especially when humans are forcing them to attack. Killing Dog's weapon as a striker for the special hat of a wolf is just not comforting. The behavior demonstrated here is straight up psychotic. I mean,
You don't have
at
to
this
kill
point,
the
you're, like, in my
elephants.
personal view, you're nitpicking. You don't. You don't have to attack them, from what I understand. You can just do something else.
I also so cool. There's actual elephants in this game.
What I will say is, yep. See, he could see it since I know he's probably. I don't get into politics, but the way he's sounding, he sounds like a PETA animal rights activist kind of guy, right? Like animals are actually sentient, whatever. And so that would make him a more of a donkey fan, right? If you catch my drift. He's definitely not a porcupine fan. He can see this as I'm actually attacking fascists because they're elephants. Just pointing that
The
out there.
elephant
But no,
fascists.
he says this. But here's the thing. This guy's nitpicking at this point in time. I don't see many people saying the same thing, right? You don't like animal cruelty in games? Fine. But when an animal gets hurt, they're going to whimper. They're going to cry. When a person gets hurt, they're going to whimper. They're going to cry. If you have a problem with this, why don't you have a problem with humans getting hurt? And they're going, ah, or ow, mommy, or whatever they say, right? Why aren't you getting upset about that? But instead of that, I want to ask y'all instead, because I just want to point out that, to be fair, there's people that do have bad takes. Let's talk about something really important. How do y'all feel about the elements in Crimson Desert? Is it a game changer?
Elements. I'm not too far into it to really say, but you mean like the physical elements?
Like fire, wind, water in this video.
Yeah, there's a magic system, and certain equipment can give you protection from different elements, just like Breath of the Wild. But I really haven't gotten far enough into the game where that actually matters.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far either.
One thing I want to know, and I said this in my
barely got the tower done right now.
Oh, you just got to the tower? Yeah, I'm doing some. I'm just doing some odd quests, searching for some missing animals.
I'm going to say this because this is my earlier coverage when I said about dragons. You know what I want to say? I'm getting it because of dragons.
Yeah.
I was wondering if one of the magic elements that are going to have in the game is necromancy.
I don't know. There are some magic characters, and they're very important, but like we don't really know enough about them, me and Bo. We were kind of talking about them earlier because it's kind of spoilerish, but basically, like, yeah, there is magic in the game, but like it doesn't seem like it's super common.
Now we're going to go into the controversy of the devs, and then we're going to talk about the controversy, the actual controversy, the actual. Aha! I got you guys. You are scammers. You're a slop game. I finally got you. But before we do that, let's talk about.
I got to go here in a few minutes, so I'll give my quick opinion on the AI controversy. I got to go here in a few minutes, so I'm just going to give a quick opinion on the AI controversy. I don't give a shit.
Actually, before we do that, I'm going to... Yeah. Before you go, all right, because I guess you're going to go now here soon?
Yeah.
All right. Before you go, Dash, we'll cover it together on because we're about to wrap up anyways. Because
okay,
can't make it. He added a thing. So I don't want to cover the
could
file.
Yeah,
probably hang out a little
I
bit
hope he's
longer.
all right. You know, he was in a bad
Yeah,
accident.
he's all right. He's just a little shaken up about what happened, guys. He's totally okay. He's
I know
fine.
that's my experience with the car crash. I was very
Well, I didn't
shaken
want to
up.
mention the car crash because that was like something I feel like he should have mentioned. That's why I was trying to like not mention it.
Oh
But
yeah,
he's totally fine.
sorry.
They're like it's not that bad. He shows the picture. It's not that bad. He's just a little shaken up about the incident and exhausted after dealing with everything, which is totally understandable. And he wanted to be here when we talked about Are We the Baddies? So we're just going to move that to the next topic. I'm going to talk with Mikey, aka the Goon Room, to talk about the subject he really wants to talk about because there was a thing that we covered in late January. Everyone was covering it. And I was one of the few people saying we need more information. That information finally came out. And on the day of launch of Crimson Desert, that MMO had went to federal court. And from what I got from that information after proceedings, they kept the restraining order on the new owners of that MMO, not the original owners, the new owners. So there's more to the story. And I'm going to let Mikey tell his side of the story because I think he should be the one to cover that. Because I was originally going to do a video and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to do it. Crimson Desert. So that's next week. But anyways, so the devs pointed out that the game began as the MMO prequel to Byte-sized Online, but was later converted to a single-player title after the years. In its final stages, the major leadership change triggered significant story rewrites, including renames to protagonists and scrapping key mercenary elements. These last-minute shifts left the game with a disjointed narrative, mismatched features, and overly cluttered controls. The issues were only finalized shortly before launch. Do you feel like that could explain some of the issues people are having?
Probably could.
Yeah,
because-
like I mean, I wasn't sure if it was like just like a different type of like story because like the story that's presented isn't very exciting. Like, you know, like, you know, I mean, I bet it picks up later, but like this beginning portion of the game is like very, very like you nothing's really explained.
Yeah, it's like I was saying earlier, you get no sense of why your character Cliff was picked. That's all I'm going to say. There's no sense of it, no explanation of why, and it's like you said, disjointed. It's like there's gaps. That's the word I was looking for. There's gaps in explanation of why certain things happened a certain way. There's no way to figure it out because there's nothing even hinting at what of why things were done a certain way or why the story went a certain direction it did. There's just major gaps in between quests and you're trying to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. Did you have anything to add to that, Dash?
No, like basically like the game it's like sorry, I'm hearing a bit of an echo, but yeah, there is like it's just not a very exciting story to start up. There's no grand evil like that you know of. Like you just get wind that like there might be something coming, but like you don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a story full of
I
gaps.
would say on my end for playing Byte-sized Online, to be fair, this is my to be fair, this sounds like Pearl Abyss to me. And the reason I said that is I've been playing Byte-sized Online back when it was run by Cacao Games. So Pearl Abyss was not I don't know when the change happened or much the story of the change from Cacao Games to Pearl Abyss, but I've been playing Cacao Games. Fun fact, Cacao Games also is part of Cacao Talk, which is the IM messenger of Korea. So like if you want to send text, you don't send it for your regular ISP or your phone service, you send it for the app Cacao Games, which is kind of Cacao Talk, which is kind of like the Korean Discord, right? So I've been playing Byte-sized Online, and I never played it. Like I was like one of the whales that would just like sit there for decades or hours or whatever playing a game. but I did play it enough that I liked it. And one thing I say is, the story for BDO, and I know the BDO fans can probably agree or disagree with whatever. I never played the game for the story because the story was weak. I played it because there was dragons in it, and there was a lot of quality of life, like the fishing, the hunting. There was just a lot to do there. So that's what it feels like here. It's like they put a lot of the quality of life, so the story does seem weak. But what I haven't played the game, and since I haven't played the game, I don't have a right to say what I want to say about it. Right?
The
I mean,
story
I had to
could
shut the
be
fuck up.
interesting for
Anyway.
Crimson Desert. It could be interesting,
Mhm.
but with all the gaps that are in certain parts of the story, it's hard to follow what they're trying to what story
I'm intrigued.
what they're
though.
trying to convey in the story.
I am
But-
intrigued, though.
Yeah, it has the story has potential if those gaps would be filled in.
Mhm.
And the AI art, I don't care that it's in this.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's the future.
This is the legit reason for the issues. Now, personally, yes, I'll agree. I like my human art, right? But this is their gotcha. All right. So Crimson Desert has been accused of using generative AI art by users in Reddit, right?
Well,
So
yeah, of course,
here's the
Reddit.
painting in question. Apparently, the way the horse's foot is drawn, whatever, like that's the issue. That's the I gotcha. That people are actually refunding the game because of it. I'll have a screenshot here to show. But there's a reason why we're going to bring this up and talk about it. And a final question for it. But this is a screenshot of one person showing they're refunding it. Now, this is the angle people are pointing at, that people are refunding it now for over AI. And we actually have someone actually showing their proof of receipt. So they're doing it because of AI, right? The video game uses generative AI. I had not seen Pearl Abyss address this. I looked at the Crimson Desert page. I looked at Pearl Abyss, but I'm going to ask you: have y'all seen anything like that? Has anyone from Pearl Abyss or Crimson Desert page actually
seen them address anything? But I haven't seen. You know, I've seen pictures hanging on walls and stuff, but I'm not looking that close at a picture to see if there's an extra foot or a finger on some.
You know,
somebody in a
most
picture. That's just
anti-AI
being
people
stupid.
won't tell you is that the best AI stuff is edited by human hands afterwards, because you can't just generate something. A lot of times it comes out like shit. You have to actively work to make good shit with AI.
I think they're trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. Is
Exactly.
what they're doing.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I do agree with that. We've covered AI for how many months now? We'll point that out there. There is nuance, right? Like,
there's my AI co-host.
Yeah, like
maybe we should get her opinion.
Get over it, like Dragoncast was made. The song for Dragoncast was made with AI, right? Let's just put that out there. There are people that use AI as a temporary placeholder for games, like with Expedition 33. They said they try, or no, was it Expedition 33?
Yeah,
no, it was
to attack.
They got accused of it too.
They got accused of it, but it was Larry. They said they tried AI to kind of experiment, get some ideas. They didn't find it interesting. No, both of them said it. It wasn't for them. They tried it, wasn't for them, right? Don't knock it till you tried it. They tried it, they knocked it because they said it's not for us, right? It's not for everybody. But the issue people are trying to argue is the people are trying to get a more neutral response. Is they're pointing to, I think they're trying to point to, goes back to the Nouveau. The main problem with the AI generated pictures in Crimson Desert is that Steam requires developers to report visible and in-game AI generated assets before publishing the game. As far as I've seen, Pearl Abyss hasn't disclosed any of this before publishing the game. So he's sharing a screenshot here. We are aware that many modern game development are tools to build in them, and they wanted to ask you that, right? Yes or no? They also have one for Denuvo. Does your game have Denuvo? And they didn't point out that they had Denuvo until 7 days before launch. So
yeah, they're being
I'm going to say, since they have, yeah, they are being dodgy. Prolobis is known for this. So this is why I tell people it's best to have the nuance on. They're still a corporation at the end of the day. Yes, they're making a great game. You can sing the praises to their Eastern devs. I love BDO. They know the difference between a fucking wyvern and a fucking dragon. All right, let's just be perfectly honest. But at the end of the day, they're a company, and they have been known for doing some dodgy shit. All right, not all the time, but they have been known. So, is the game good? Yes. Does it run well? And it seems optimized on Denuvo. From what I've seen and what y'all are saying, and what everyone that's playing the game is saying, yes, it is. But is it a deal breaker to have AI? Not really. That's your prerogative.
On a portrait, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're going to say that if you don't have AI, or if you do have AI and you're not mentioning that to be transparent with your people that are wanting to buy your game, the same with Denuvo. People don't want to buy a game because of Denuvo. If you're hiding that fact, I gotta wonder what else you're hiding. That's the only reason why I'll be like, you know what, you have a valid point. I can't argue on it. You don't want a game with AI on it. You don't want to spend your money for a game with AI. I'll agree. Yeah, you shouldn't have to. That should be forthcoming. But I'm also going to say Prolobis has to make an open statement to explain that horse. Do they have AI or not? And if they say no, they don't have AI, and it's proven that they have, that's going to look bad on them, because then you're going to wonder what else are they lying about. But that being said, before we go into the final question of AI, I want to I've been trying to figure this out. We do have at least one review. I did promise my viewers that if you write a fan review, we will totally show it. So give me a second, because I'm trying to figure out how to do this from the app. It's not letting me do it. Oh, I think I got it now. Okay, I figured it out. I unboomered myself. Oh, no, I did. I did, but did. Give me a moment. So, where are we at here? So many tabs. I don't really have so many tabs, but yeah. Do this, because I don't want to show my password. I have to log back in. But anyone want to say anything, final thoughts before we get into the final review and the final question? Anyone want to say anything else about the game?
If you're going to try it, like me and Dash were both saying, take it slow and easy. Don't try and be in a rush to get into the main story and finish it, because you will have your ass kicked. And the devs designed it that way for you to slow down and not rush through anything. And once I grasped that concept and started a new save, I've been having a good time with it.
Yep. All right. So I finally got it fixed. And we're going to show, I had to close all my things. I don't know why this thing lets you show it. Let's show every server Levistro is on. Let's just do that. I don't know what that. But this is from Valkyria Winter. All right. So I made an announcement a while back that if you play Crimson Desert as a viewer, because I'm trying to find ways to let my audience interact with us, right? We're gonna give their reviews. So I was expecting a small, like a couple 3 sentences. Valkyria Winter comes in, and he even DM'd me to make sure I knew that, hey, I made a review. So I'm gonna make sure he gets his, I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna say, I said we'll cover it on screen. We will. So he says he's playing on PC. He's played about 23 hours. That means he hasn't slept. Prolobis news game consider will have a -20 for no Fuda, but really, the game from an MMO to now a single player hasn't disappointed. Really, the game is beautiful, and not just the females. The environment is stunning, and that drives you in, making you want to get out and just explore. Which there is a lot to as the map is huge. I mean, even a dragon would blush to the size. Now, combat, I do enjoy giving me the feel of BDO Black Desert Online. Out and he would, when fighting, you can feel like a demigod at times with many types of skills to enjoy ending your victims. The boss fights can be easy to ragging and smashing your PC console, but hey, the game isn't meant to be easy. It doesn't hold your hand, and there is now, I think he means no yellow paint crap. I think he means no. Val is here. He can tell if he meant now. One big annoying part. Now, one big annoying part is the keys. They are all over the place where I need 8 fingers just to do my combos. But not just that. For PC, I need to hold control, then hit ER or G just to talk to a damn vendor. I can't hit I to open my inventory or even keybind it. Even wanting to open options is annoying. So he agrees with the valid complaints of clunky controls and key mapping. He agrees with that, but yet, as we've seen, he has praised other aspects. So that seems to be a valid complaint. Having to hit and hold escape to move options could have been easier. Now, video has the same with the combat, but not talking to NPCs. Unsure why they added it and made no sense at all. Now, fun fact, I remember when I played it, before they had the camera to what just happened? Okay, before they had the camera inventory, when I first played it, they had a PNG image next to the dialogue. When I first played BDO, way back in the day. So there was that. But anyways, so far I'm on chapter 2, but I've been exploring more and been doing side quests for the bag slots, which you really need. Storage sucks, so you can't place things in the chest in the tent at first, which I remember you were talking about that, Bo.
Yeah.
Weren't you talking about the storage chest?
Well, I was talking about it on stream. I think you were lurking. They put that storage chest in there, and you couldn't put anything in it. However, I did discover today that, like, when if you go and do a quest and against the bandits and you kill enough of them, some of the part of it is they start running away, and so you'll get this little message that all the loot you didn't get because there was a cutscene, all the loot you didn't get was in that chest. I haven't looked yet, but I did get a message that the loot you weren't able to loot because then the bodies and all that stuff were no longer there after the cutscene was put in your chest.
Yes.
But yeah, you can't put anything in the chest. You can't just move stuff from your inventory into the chest. It's all grayed out. Like I said, they treated the storage like they were going to add a cash shop at the start of the game. Because if you go to any MMO, whether Korean or American or Western, inventory space is something that they put up for sale in their cash shop.
Yep.
That was Final Fantasy 14 does that, and it
sucks. Clip it. We need to clip that because we're gonna make that prediction. Bo has said it. We're gonna clip it, make a YouTube short, and if that becomes a true possibility, I'm gonna make another one with the news with Bo saying that and just titling it. Called it.
3 to 6 months, I think they're going to have a cash shop.
Yeah. There is a possibility. They said at launch, right? Like you said, they said they're not going to
at launch. Yeah, there's a nuance to what
they're saying. They put the Nuvo out 7 days before launch. Some people say, "Oh, they've already had it." It's like, then why didn't they announce it?
Because the game did sell so well, I can expect some really crazy like expansions and updates, maybe even new quests.
I think so too. But right now, from what I'm seeing and what you're telling and everything else, it's a great game. And even Valkyrie says overall he's enjoying the game, even with the ragging on bosses, which can be bullshit. Still, it is a game that is well optimized and made. A game I'll be playing for a long time, which for me is great. Still needs Fudos, but has hot Asians, so that's a plus. Anyways, Val, did you dare assume genders in this game? How do you know those hot Asian women in the game are not Fudas. Just
Well,
pointing that
because they
out
don't
there.
have dicks.
Because but how do you know if you can't see them? Are you telling me that you can see the wings and all that, or no?
No, there's a bulge like most Fudas have.
But are they going?
Yeah,
But
I will not get on an NSFW discussion.
yeah, I'm just gonna say, does the protagonist have a bulge or no?
Well, so I got
The protagonist is a dude.
Yeah, but have you
It'd be weird
seen
if
if
he
he has a
didn't.
bulge? Does he have
I
a
don't
bulge in his
know.
pants
I
or no?
haven't really paid attention
I
to
didn't
that.
look down there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
Well-
get to where I can play the female character anyway.
yeah, I know, because you're gonna play that. We're gonna notice that Bo's gameplay skills is gonna go from awesome to shit real quick once he gets the female character unlocked. He's gonna be distracted. Just putting it out there. But anyway, so the final questions. I'm not gonna go and share multiple screens because I do think we all want to get going.
Well,
And
I want to
stuff,
get up
but
to my
I'm just gonna
park
say
for,
this. I'm gonna
for my walk before it gets too late. I do an exercise walk 3
we're
or 4
gonna just
times
wrap
a
this
day.
up. Give me a moment.
Wait.
Yeah. I'll just give him what's it's loading up. But I'm gonna say that Power World, one of the devs from Power World has said, the game is made for me. Bucky, the head of communications at Power World, thinks Crimson Desert is a stream game. The game is not made, is made for me. I totally understand all the criticism, and I agree that the game isn't for everyone, but this is my dream game. I want to ask y'all some final questions here. All right. Because Overlord even mentioned it here, right? That it's not going to be meant for everyone. Has the game been overhyped in the past? Was it overhyped? Do you think some of the criticism were valid? And do you think the game is for everyone? If not, do you think it's the game for you? And
I think it's a game for me.
For people who summarize what if you play different give an example of games that were played, right? For example, we were saying The Witcher and other things, right? What type of player or gamer would love this game? There you go.
I think maybe some Souls-like gamers would like it. Definitely. Maybe Witcher. Stellar Blade players, I think, would like it. And it started off not being for me. But then, like I said, when I started a new save and decided to take a different approach with it, it's grown on me. I'll reiterate the advice. Take it slow. Don't try and rush through anything. And you might find that you'll actually really enjoy it. I think they made an MMO into a single player, but MMOs are persistent, and I think that's what they're trying to mimic with the single player game, living in a persistent universe. And they want you to take your time.
Dash?
Yeah, like anyone who likes open world Breath of the Wild style games and is fine with like maybe not the most exciting story in the world, but just wants to have this really cool fantasy world and just like really get immersed in it, definitely pick up the game.
And the last thing I want to point out, because is this thing from Mutant Lord. He goes, things are about to get interesting over the next couple of days. I believe Crimson Desert is about to receive the same criticism and defense from the game community as Marathon did. As I said, Crimson Desert won't be for everyone, and I got slammed for saying that. I was told that I just don't like games that try something bold and creative. But when I said Marathon isn't for everyone and it takes time because it's a learning curve, I was told that if a game takes that long for you to grasp, then it's a poor game design. I mean, to be fair, he did say that, and people did tell him that. Yet I am seeing players and reviewers say Crimson Desert takes some getting used to before you really enjoy the game. Oh boy, this discourse is about to get interesting, and I'm all for it. The goalposts moving and hypocrisy are about to be in full force with this one. Do y'all think that the game was overhyped and now people are trying to downplay that hype, or do you believe the game isn't polarized as with Marathon and other games? This is basically the last question.
I don't
Or
think
second to
Pearl
last.
Abyss. I don't think Pearl Abyss overhyped it. I think
No.
people wanting it. I think the consumers overhyped it.
Yeah.
Pearl Abyss did try to downplay some of the hype,
Mm-hmm.
but I think consumers overhyped it.
Well, yeah. Thing is, like, I think this is the game people were starving for. People were starving for a game that doesn't really have any visible politics attached, is made by a Korean studio outside of, like, just the brain rot in the West, and is just like, this big epic game that pushes boundaries, like, as far as like what an open world game can be.
Mm-hmm.
People are looking forward to that, but the game, the controller issue is an issue. Like, I do believe it is an issue. Like, it's definitely, like, hard if this was your first game. Like, you definitely would not, like, it's definitely not for people who haven't played a video game before.
Yeah. I'm also going to say, from the outside looking in, watching all these, right, and also playing VDO, I could kind of see what you're saying, Bo, with the Souls-like, right? But the combat does, like, I have to play it to myself to verify, but it doesn't strike me as a Souls-like game. I do think the difficulty balance is better, right? So it will be challenging, but it's not going to be a Souls-like, in my personal.
I meant more along the lines of a lot less hand holding through a game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not necessarily the combat.
Yeah.
A lot less hand holding, that sort of thing. Yeah, the combat to me, it's its own deal. I can't even say it's similar to Stellar Blade,
Mm-hmm.
or and Souls games. I've never played, but it's its own style. That's for sure.
I also feel like on my end, watching all this, there has been people that overhyped it, that were on the the game journalist side that did for a while. They did overhype it in the beginning. When it first was announced, I do remember that, and then people were giving a fair take. I also think that, well, us YouTubers, because we wanted games that were actual games. The problem is well, now that the game came out, we're saying, instead of saying these people are like, we're still having, like, people saying, oh, IGN gave it a 0.4 score, right? But then you see IGN also has a 6 and an 8 score on it. I'm not trying to defend IGN. I'm saying there's always nuance, right? I think we also overhyped the game because we wanted a return of games being great. And the thing is many people saw this game or were seeing the games they wanted in, and were kind of disappointed because they haven't played a BDO game, they haven't played a Korean game, or, like you said, Dash, and I think you were saying it, correct me if I'm wrong. People were used to yellow paint and hand holding. So this is a slow burn. They're getting overwhelmed by systems because they're not used to that. But there are other games out there, other games to play and everything else. And the mixed reviews that we saw in the beginning were just people, yes, they had graphics issues, but also issues of this wasn't the game they expected it to be. They were hoping it to be something else that they were told, like the next Skyrim or the next this or that. That's what I think. That being said, I don't think we'll do this. Will be the first time we don't do it, but we're not going to do games we find interesting this time period. So, because I from what y'all are saying, y'all haven't even finished the game. So people are going to be playing this game for a while.
Yeah, not even close. You're talking, I mean, even some of the top YouTubers are saying 150, 200 hours to finish this game.
Yep. But yeah, that being said, I don't think, oh, I'm sorry, Bo. Sorry, I was talking about my son. But yeah, I think this is pretty much it. We will cover the the other news next week, and hopefully our read of baddies, and that's where we're just going to cover the nuance of some things we've seen, and I think it's something that we should talk about. So if you don't want to hear criticism of your favorite content creators, and you're going to believe that concerns equal attacking, probably want to skip that episode. But if you want to have a nuanced conversation, as we always do, stop by next week. That being said, Dash, what do you got going on this week?
Okay, for this week, I'll probably be playing more Desert, or possibly switching back to Three Houses at some point, because this is a really, really long game, and possibly more people are probably ahead of me now because I've only played it twice.
Yep.
So I don't know what the attention span for Crimson Desert is going to be, like how much more people are going to be interested in it. If people want to see me do parts that like maybe other streamers have already done. So I'm going to gauge that, but I know everyone's going to come and watch me play Three Houses because it's fucking Fire Emblem, baby.
Yep. And of course, you're our resident Fire Emblem expert.
Yep.
And Bo, what you got going on this week?
Well, me and Rhonda, the co-host, will probably do a couple more episodes of Crimson Desert and start getting back into Starfield. There's a few things I got to do in Starfield before the update. The big Starfield update is April 7th when it comes out on PlayStation. The big update for space exploration and all that stuff, that's all coming on April 7th. So I'm hoping, I don't think it's going to be a Cyberpunk upgrade to launch it into the stratosphere like what happened with Cyberpunk, but I think from what I've seen and what I've heard and talked to people about, it's a good thing that's going to happen to Starfield to help it. So I'll have a review on that once I start getting into the new systems and stuff. Because, I like Starfield.
Yeah.
I do like it. There are things about it I don't like, but that's my plan. I'll probably do some more zombie stuff with Rhonda. I may even try and get a few more Conan Exiles in there a little bit too, because I hadn't done that in a while. That's about it.
Yep. And as for me, I'm trying to get back with the schedule of streaming. It's just we had so many things come up, and it's had some news I was researching that took away from the, I said it was going to happen. Someone gave me some news and some court documents that I was researching and reading, so I couldn't do streaming. But I'm hoping to stream the 13Z demo. I wanted to try that because I promised that, and then I'm going to try Crimson Desert and see what happens on my stream when I play it. But yeah, other than that, I think we addressed everything, and I hope we gave a nuanced view for you viewers out there. If you just, I forgot. We did have a poll. So we asked earlier, remember in the Dragon Bytes, is Steam player count being visible doing irreparable and unnecessary damage to a lot of games? And we had 21 votes. So I think we had a fair amount of polls. So the majority, the popular consensus, right? The popular view is no at 90%, with 10% saying no. So yeah, the poll has ended. So thank you for your input. And I figured we'd already knew that, but I want to try to get y'all some poll interactions. So yeah, that being said, Bo and Dash, thank you for your patience. Thanks for giving y'all's insights. Everyone else,
well, it's good.
Not everything's for everybody.
It was good to actually, the basketball season is over. It was good to actually have Saturday free finally after a few months.
Yeah, I'm happy to share my thoughts on the game.
Yep. And I think we gave a fair, nuanced view. We found some bad faith calls. We found some, fair assessments. We found out, there's a lot of nuance to the games. And in the end of the day, if you want to play the game, it wasn't some IGN news developer that changed my mind about going away from my Nouveau policy, for example. It wasn't some major streamer changing my mind. It was my friends, Dash, Bo, Cass, Mikey, and some viewers like you, right? So play the games you want, decide for yourselves. And that being said, happy gaming, and see y'all next week.
You're still here. What? You thought there'd be a post-credit scene or something? This isn't a Disney movie. The show's over. Go get some sleep. Play a video game. Watch another YouTube video. I gotta take care of the Dragon League and possibly get some sleep myself. Goodbye all, and thanks for watching, and happy gaming.